Let's rock and roll. Let's smash it out. And we are live. Hey guys, how you going? So down BK Sport. We are live as the West Tigers take on the Canterbury Bulldogs in a game that has a bit of feeling about it, man. This has a bit of feeling about it, this game, because obviously a Lachlan Galvin situation going from the Tigers to the Tigers to the Bulldogs. Yeah, I was about to say, oh no, I got it wrong. But no, I got it right. Galvin from the Tigers to the Bulldogs obviously created a bit of a stir in mid-season, and it's been quite a while since then now, a couple of months, but at the end of the day, this is the first time that these two teams are playing each other since that situation, and dearie me, it has got a little bit of something about it. Bulldogs obviously fighting for the minor premiership right now. If they win this game, there is a chance of them going into the top dog spot if they win by 16 points or more. So they've got a lot to play for, but we'll get into the ladder in a second. Let's get into these two team lineups, guys, and then we'll get into the ladder, and then we'll see what you say in the chat. So obviously hit that like button, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into it. So the Tigers, they come into this game from 13th position. The Bulldogs come into this game from 3rd position, and this is at Combank Stadium in Sydney. And now the ins here for the Tigers: Brent Naden, Jareen Buller, Royce Hunt, and Samwala Fainu, with the outs being Isaac Tuitupo, Jack Bird, Christian Mapapalangi, and Stafford Toa. So some massive ins here for the Tigers. Samwala Fainu is obviously a really big part of their team, alongside Jareen Buller, their fullback. You've got Royce Hunt. He's off the bench, but he was a huge pickup from the Cronulla Sharks in the off-season last year, I think it was. It might have been the year before. I can't remember. I think it was last year. Yeah, anyway, point of matter is that Royce Hunt obviously is a huge inclusion there in off the bench. Now, the fullback is Jareen Buller, with the wingers being Sunda Turuva and Jarrell Skelton, centres of Taylor May and Brent Naden, who comes in from the 19th man into the starting centres. You got the 5'8", which is Jerome Lua, the captain, and the halfback is Adam Dewey, who was originally meant to be the 13. Now he's been pushed into the 7. Interesting to see that Latu Fainu is now dropped off of the 7, and Dewey is the starting 7. That is really interesting. Now, the front row forwards are Terrell May and Alex Twell. Api Sai is the number 9. Back row of Samwala Fainu and Alex Seyfarth, with Sione Fainu coming in from the 14 into the 13 role. Now the interchange, Latu Fainu, like I said, dropped from the 7 onto the interchange with Royce Hunt, Fanua Pole, and Tony Suka. 18th man replacement is Tristan Hope, and the coach is Benji Marshall. Really not sure what the Tigers are doing here. Like, I get they've got a couple of big ins that are going to really help them out here. If they win this game here today, they've definitely avoided the spoon for 2025. But I really am confused. That they have decided to put Adam Dewey into the 7 and Latu Fainu is onto the bench there. It's just mixing up a place that I just don't think they need to mix up, especially considering they do believe Latu Fainu is their guy long term. But, you know, it is what it is. Interesting to see kind of what goes on here. The Tigers coming into this game, obviously last week, let's go back here to the Tigers season. No, I've just clicked on the Cronulla Sharks. That game is on later. We'll be live for the Sharks-Cowboys game. Last week, they obviously lost 36-2 to the Panthers, which was a pretty poor result. They weren't too bad in the first half, but in the second half, they just completely fell apart, and the Panthers absolutely slapped them. Week before that, they got a sneaky little win over the Titans. Probably weren't the better team in that game, but they did find a way to win it. The Titans just, find ways to lose those kind of games. And the Tigers won at 21-20. There was 34-14 loss to the Warriors. They beat the Roosters 30-28. Lost to the Manly Seagulls 28-10. Lost to the Raiders 16-12. And lost to the Panthers 18-14. So a lot of those games, and even if you go back to the Cowboys game where they lost 32-28, a lot of those games are quite close. It's not like for the Tigers are quite normally getting absolutely slapped. It was a 4-point game against the Cowboys loss, 4-point loss against the Panthers, 4-point loss against the Raiders. It was an 18-point loss against Manly, which is bad. 2-point win against the Roosters, 20-point loss against the Warriors, 1-point win against the Titans, and then a 34-point loss against the Panthers. But overall, they haven't been getting absolutely annihilated in most of their games. The only 2 games that they have been absolutely whooped recently were against those 2 top 4 teams. Well, Warriors being 4th and Panthers being 5th. So, look, I don't know how to read them coming into this game. It's a really, really difficult matchup for the Tigers, with the Bulldogs obviously finding a bit of form last week against the Manly Seagulls. But then again, Manly showed last night that they're in a bit of a basket case as they lost to the Roosters, and they are in 10th position and are on life support when it comes to their top 8 dreams and whatnot. So, look, I don't know how the Tigers are going to go today, especially with that change in the halfback position, and with Jerome Luai now playing, obviously, as the consistent 5'8". We'll have to see how it goes. Now, for the Bulldogs, ins, Mitchell Woods, with the outs being Connor Tracy. The fullback is Jacob Kiraz, with the wingers being Jethro Rinakama and Anari Tuala, centers of Bronson Seri and Stephen Crichton, who is the captain. 5'8" is Matt Burton, with the halfback being Lachlan Galvin. And then you go to the props of Max King and Samuel Hughes. Number 9 is Reid Marnie. Now the back row is Vili Viliami Kickow, Jacob Preston, and then James Salmon is the lock. Interchange of Kurt Mann, Harry Hayes, Josh Curran, and Bailey Hayward. Don't know why my throat's struggling a little bit today. And then Mitchell Woods is the 18th man of placement and Cameron Serrato is the coach. I do like that Mitchell Woods' name is floating about. Obviously, he is a youngster coming through. He played for the Under-19s New South Wales Cup team this year. Very good player, but obviously it's very difficult to put him in right now. He's not really going to be able to get in with Burton and Galvin being their long-term half situation, especially considering Galvin was brought in and replaced Toby Sexton, who was doing pretty well there. So, look, this Bulldogs team ultimately should be winning this game today. I will tip them 1-12, but I can see what they go and keep on with what they did last week. So last week obviously was a massive win against Manly. We all thought it was going to be a really close game. The Bulldogs over the last couple of months have not exactly been spectacular. They have been winning games, but not convincingly at all. Like, again, last week, the Bulldogs did beat Manly 42-4. So I just went into Manly season. Bulldogs. There we go. So last week was that 42-4 win, but the week beforehand, they won 20-18 over the Dragons very unconvincingly. Scored in the last few seconds, but very unconvincingly. And the week before that was even more of an unconvincing win when they beat the Cowboys 12-8. They had 15 errors. The Cowboys had 17 errors. The Cowboys are not a great team this year. And the Bulldogs are, up in the top 4. Those 2 games before the Manly game were really disappointing. The Manly one was a very big win, very convincing win. But the game before that, they lost the Broncos 20-18. They were up by literally 18-0 at halftime. This was a game they both had all their origin stars out, so you kind of don't look too deeply into it, but it was a worry at the time, and it still kind of is a little bit of a worry because they haven't beaten the Broncos this year. They played them both times, one with a full-strength roster, and they got slapped, and then one without their full-strength roster, and they threw away an 18-0 lead. So the Broncos seem like they might have a bit of their number at the moment. They lost the Panthers 8-6. Michael Ennis would have had his pants off for that one, but they lost 8-6 to the Panthers in a very, very good game. That was spectacular for the Bulldogs, despite the fact that they did lose. You're going to be proud of the effort. Beat the Rabbitohs 24-18, beat the Eels 30-12, but lost to the Dolphins 44-8 with all their origin plays out. Beat the Roosters 24-20. So, look, that last 2 months hasn't exactly been something to write home about. The last game was something to write home about. They really put a score on in the second half and put Manly to bed. And it seems like Manly definitely have been a little bit impacted by that one because, they looked awful yesterday. So, look, I'm going to tip the Dogs. I'm going to tip the Dogs here. I will go 1-12, but I definitely I'm vibing a little bit of them put a score past the Tigers here. If the score gets put past the Tigers, then they are still in the hunt for that spoon. And they would still be in the hunt for that spoon. So they're going to be very careful about not getting slapped here today, Wes. They're going to be very, very careful because it's not like their run home is anything spectacularly easy. And they have won 3 wooden spoons in a row, and they're kind of back in this area again. They have the Bulldogs this week. They had the bye, which is good for them, but then they have Manly the week after, the Cowboys, then the Raiders and the Titans. So look, it's not extremely difficult, but they shouldn't be beating the Raiders. I thought that loss was due yesterday. They shouldn't be beating Manly. Maybe they beat the Cowboys and maybe they beat the Titans, but overall it'll be a nerve-wracking wait in this back-end stretch. But yeah, I will take, I am actually going to say, I'll say Dogs 1-12, but I can see well where it's 13 plus. Now let's go to the ladder here. The Tigers, they are in 14th position on 18 points, so they are equal. Third last with the Eels, but also equal with the Knights on 18 points. They are in the bottom 4. They've got a minus 135 points differential. The Eels have a minus 153 points differential, and the Knights have a minus 116 points differential. So if the Tigers lose this game by 18 points or more, they will go below the Eels today, and they will go into 15th position. Which is, really knocking on that door of that spoon. Again, luckily they have the bye next week, but with that being said, the Titans and Rabbitohs play each other, who are the 2 teams below them, so that will keep them kind of within range. And again, the Tigers do play the Titans at some point in the last game of the season. So if the Tigers lose, they have to lose by 18 points or more to go 15th. If they don't lose by that much, then they will stay in 14th. If they win this game, however, they will go above the Knights, and they also will go above the Cowboys, and they'll go equal with the Dragons in 11th. However, the points differential, the Tigers at minus 135, Dragons at minus 58, it's just not being overtaken. So the Tigers would be in 12th. However, the Cowboys play the Sharks in the game after this one, so the Cowboys won that game. It would put the Tigers back into 13th position. So not much of a change, but again, if they win this game, especially with the bye that they've got got next week, you would expect them to avoid the spoon. If they lose this game, they're still well and truly entrenched in that wooden spoon battle. Now, on the other side, the Bulldogs are in third position on 34 points, equal with the Melbourne Storm. There's a lot to play for here today for the Dogs. So they're on plus 136 and the Storm are on plus 228. But the Raiders are just above them, 2 points above them on 36 points. Now, the Raiders still have a bye to come this season, which will really help their chances of getting that minor premiership still. But because they lost to the Dragons yesterday, they're on plus 152, which is 16 points better than the Bulldogs. Now, if the Bulldogs win this, they will definitely go above the Storm into second. But if they win by 16 points or more, they will go into first position this weekend. So not only do the Bulldogs have a reason to win by a big margin so that they can go into first position, but it would also put the Tigers down into that third last position, which would be worrying for them. So you don't want to give the Bulldogs motivation right now, and they've got that motivation. If they lose this game over, they will stay in third position, and that would probably, for mine, lock that minor... Not lock the minor premiership up, actually, but... Again, the Raiders shouldn't lose too many coming into this back-end stretch. The Storm would be the only team I could really look at, being the minor premiers, if the Dogs were to lose here today. But they would stay in third. They're still 4 points away from the Warriors. The Warriors obviously lost their game to the Dolphins. And their points differential is pathetic at plus 26 for a top 4 team. So the Dogs, Storm and Raiders are locked up for a top 3 finish. There's no doubt about that with 5 games to go after today. But especially if the Bulldogs win this game, then they are guaranteed into that top 4 there. So look, big game here today. I'm taking the Dogs 1-12. I just get this vibe. I get this gut feeling they're going to slap them, though. There's so much reason for the Dogs to have a big performance here. You know, Galvin's going to want to obviously play it big. They're playing for the first place team in the competition post round 22. And they want to solidify themselves with a home final in the first week of the finals. You know what I'm saying? So... yeah, look, it's going to be interesting, but I will take the Dogs here in this one. But obviously, guys, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here. It was a fun day yesterday. Too bad Michael Ennis has still got the Panther sticks in his mouth, and Casey Badger should be sacked. But all right, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new around here, and let's get into the chat. Olivia Ruby, the $8 donation, get around you. Olivia says, happy Sunday. Oh, wow, we've taken away the... nowadays, you call it Spectrum Saturday, not Spectrum Sunday. But happy Sunday, Olivia. Appreciate you for the dono as per usual. Lagan says, Doggies 50 plus massacre. Look, I think that for everyone down the bottom of the table, if you are a Titans, Rabbitohs, Eels, Knights, Cowboys, and even as much... No, Dragons avoid it now. But any team... who are the Cowboys, Knights, Tigers, Titans, and Rabbitohs, you really want the Dogs to win by a big margin here today. Because although the Tigers are pretty bad points differential as it is, the Tigers absolutely are in that wooden spoon battle, and I think the Rabbitohs would be so much more desperate than anybody else for them to lose by a big margin, because they're on minus 197. And next week, that's a big game between the Rabbitohs and Titans to avoid that spoon. It is a huge game. Broncos SW Olivia, big legend. Tigers 1-12. Want to see Galvin get smacked. As a Titans fan, you probably shouldn't want that, brother. You probably shouldn't want that, man. I got a beautiful mango juice smoothie here. Oh my goodness me. Ho Chi Minh on fire today. On fire. On fire. Sean says Titans on major fraud alert, bro. No way. No way. No way. No, that's just incorrect, Sean. That's just, you got to stop lying to yourself. That's just an absolute lie, and you got to really start thinking strongly about how you think about the competition, because that's just not true. No way they're on fraud alert. Benjamin says, kind of looking forward to this game. Your boys were bloody close to win last night. No, they won last night. Just unfortunate that we had an idiot in the bunker and an idiot trainer. But no, it was a good game. It was a good, fun game. Sean, you're wrong. Titans are first by a long margin. I know, it's obvious. You know, it's really simple stuff. Really simple stuff. I'm too broke for KO, so this gets me through. No, I appreciate you, man. Rocky says that's fair. Dadman says Tigers are getting smacked. Well, the Bulldogs are out on the field, and the Tigers are now coming out. Jerome Luai leading them out. I wonder if is there somebody here who genuinely is tipping the Tigers to win this game today? Like, I know that there's going to be people who... Raiders fans are going to be very desperate for the Tigers to win, and the Storm fans as well. I guess maybe Warriors fans at a stretch, but ultimately, does anyone actually genuinely believe the Tigers are going to win this game? And not just bias reasons. All right, so both Tigers and Dogs are out in the field. Let's see how Galvin gets on today. Livy says, I'm going with the Tigers today, even though I don't really like them. Why? Why? Olivia, the Broncos can't get to the Dogs in third. What? To be fair, like I guess you just go for anyone at that point because neither the Bulldogs or the Tigers are within your range. Sean says Dogs for the win. You would assume so. You'd assume so. If the Tigers win this game, the Dogs are absolutely on fraud load again. Like they went off fraud load last week. They went off. But I tell you right now, you lose this game, you're right back on it. I don't want to go for either of them. Well, let's go over the draw then. Against Luai versus Galvin, going to be battle of the year. Yeah, no. Look, it's exciting, but no. Scott James, Jaden Campbell was always missing that kick because of the trainer, mentally knowing that he walks in front of the kick. Why couldn't he have waited for him to kick the ball? Absolutely, Scott. Tigers here will bring this ball through. Terrell May to the 15 first tackle. Absolutely, Scott. It's called icing the kicker. Oh, Tigers have lost the ball in the first tackle, and the Bulldogs are going to start off with the ball at the 10. Oh my gosh, Tigers. The literal first tackle of the game, the Tigers knocked the ball on, and Reed Marnie now rolls it out to Sam Hughes. First tackle, 8 metres away from the line. So, Scott, in the NFL, it's called icing the kicker, which is a legal play. You call a timeout right before the field goal kicker takes the field goal, and it obviously messes with the mind. It messes with the play, and it makes you have to think about it more, and you're switching thoughts, and it's all over the shop. 6 again for the Dogs here at the 10, but that's a legal play. You are legally allowed to do that and call a timeout. In the NRL, that's what they did yesterday, but illegally, and just ran in front of it. So, yeah, absolutely, mate. It's really unfortunate. The Dogs now, Stephen Crichton. There's a trip over, and the Dogs will... I think he's been held up. Here. I think he's been held up. They're probably going to... No, they're going to check it, yeah. They're going to check it. Good atmosphere you can hear here at the game. How about you boo that, you cats? All right, so first tackle... I'm pretty certain that Stephen Crichton will get held up over the line here. He'll get tackles at the 1, and it's just momentum that's going to drag him across, but you're not going to be able to see the ball. But I do think that he's been held up. You're never going to be able to see this ball here, Bunker. You're never going to be able to see this ball. Oh, here we go. No, you're never going to see the ball now. Yeah, you're never going to see it. So that's going to be a no try, and it'll be Bulldogs at the 10. You can't see the ball here. And then when you do see the ball eventually, it is well and truly up. Well and truly up. Yeah, I don't even know why we're still looking at this, to be honest with you. I think this is a pretty clear held up. Or maybe this angle. No, you're not seeing the ball. Like just... Oh, it's... Oh, he lost the ball. You're lucky, Bulldogs, that he probably doesn't get called for a lost ball there. But yeah, he will be held up. So it's going to be Dogs ball at the 10. Scott James, the Titans would have won. Don't see Panthers scoring, to be honest. I agree. Jay says, have you felt the urge to chase any cars or the postman today? Nah, I'm wiggling my tail, but... Oh, wiggle of the tail. Reed Marnie, 10 metres out, first tackle. Lachlan Galvin gives up to Salmon. Salmon now to Samuel Hughes, and Hughes is going to be 5 metres away here from the line. Second tackle. Lucky ass. Well, he clearly was held up, to be fair. Reed Marnie gets it to Jamin Salmon. Salmon now to Matt Burton. How about the atmosphere, though? You can hear a solid atmosphere at the ground. And it's going to be 4 tackle here for the Dogs at the... Oh, jeez. They're taking back 20 metres. They're at the 25. That is a 20-metre tackle from the Tigers. That is huge. 4 tackle, and they're going to give it off to Maxi King. And Max King is going to be 18 metres out from the line here. 5th tackle. Only 2 minutes in. How about the atmosphere? Reed Marnie off to Jamin Salmon. Salmon at the back into Burton. Burton now to Kiraz. Kiraz kicks it through. No, Bronson Cherry, sorry. It's going to be a dropout. Bronson Cherry will kick it through, and it'll be a dropout. Jereen Buller knocks it dead. Oh, Olivia, your team, your order has arrived in Brisbane. It's going through customs. The sniffy jar should be here just in time for next week. Where's my sniffy jar? Oh, it's so far away. It's like 10 metres away from me. Oh, my gosh. I blame Jay. Dear me, it's all over there. I got to wait for a try and then I'll go get it. All right, so the Tigers will drop this. Oh, they're going to kick it really hard towards the sideline, but it's going to be Jake Kiraz who brings it from the 20. First tackle. Doggies now at the 20. Jeez, it's so wet there, man. It is so wet. Reed Marnie, not like rain-wise, but it has clearly been raining at Combank. Any short dropouts in Sydney would be stupid. Yeah, well, we didn't see really any yesterday. But teams are going away from short dropouts anyway. Third tackle now at the 5. Yeah, the field looks like shit, Daz, you're right. It obviously has been raining very, very heavily. Third tackle, Reed Marnie out to Jamin Salmon, and Salmon's going to be 4 tackle now, 4 metres out from the line. 4 metres out and 4 tackle. Tigers did start off well last week in the first half. Before the second half not being good. A lot of boos there for Galvin. Jacob Kiraz, that's forward. That's forward. That's forward. Million percent. Yeah, okay. 4 pass. So it's going to be Tigers ball to 10. I, for some reason, thought that he wasn't going to call that as a 4 pass just then, but that is... yeah, that's definitely forward. Jake Lewis, let's get the ball 20 metres out and just power slide over the line. This pitch is crazy. Yeah, you could probably slide from about 6 metres out, I reckon. I reckon you could slide from about 6 metres out. Dasman says, yes, totally legit try. What? Yeah, Daz has definitely been drinking today. Yeah, definitely been drinking today. Ike says, what did you end up doing with the dog last night? That's a weird comment if people weren't here for that. If people weren't here for yesterday's stream, that's such a weird comment that people be like, what? Doing with the dog last night? You're a sick man, Ike. You're a sick man. That's a weird comment if people don't know what the context is. So the Tigers now will bring this ball out here to the 15. John says, are you allowed to show the game? Due to broadcast restrictions, you know it is. Illegal. So third tackle now for the Tigers, and they'll be at the 23. 5 minutes of the first half. That wet me Lamborghini got bogged. That English, not very English. Fourth tackle now at the 30. Well, he couldn't take it for a walk. No, it wasn't necessarily something that I was able to do. Backwards out of the hands, clear try. Yeah, it was only forwards out of the hands by about 17 metres. But Jacob Kiraz, he'll bring this ball out here to the 40. Also, I don't understand why we saw a comment before saying that it looked like Stephen Crichton was playing fullback, because Kiraz is playing fullback, and he was back there for the fullback just then, and that's going to be a penalty here to the Dogs with Kiraz. Terrell May's not had a good start here. So Bulldogs penalty at the 40. Stephen Crichton, when you kind of said that before, whoever said that before, was in the centres and ran the ball from the centre. I could be wrong, but it's just based off of what we've just seen. Kiraz is definitely playing fullback. Oh my gosh, the juices and whatnot over here. I know this is Starbucks, but like the juices and whatnot over here, they're next level. They're just next level. You just can't get a bad one. Ridiculous. The blueberry smoothie that we had in Vungtao, the mango juices that we got here, spectacular. So the Dogs now will be 35 metres away from the line, first tackle. Here come the Bulldoggy Woof Woof again. Oh yeah, it's so funny how the Suns are getting absolutely roasted now for their post yesterday. Like, have a look at them. You're like, you've never even played in the finals in like 15 years of being a team. You've been a team 15 years. It's the first time you've ever been in the finals, and you're going to throw shade at somebody? Like, get grip. So Dogs now at the 25. Jamin Salmon now to lock on Galvin. No, Crichton's definitely playing fullback, but playing centre. I thought Crichton was playing fullback because he was playing fullback in the attacking structure and Kiraz was in the centre. Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Well, defensively, definitely not. Fair tackle now at the 5. And they'll go right-hand side off to Galvin. Galvin kicks it through, and that's going to be a 7-tackle set, I would assume. Yes, it is. And Tigers fans will love that one. They will love that one. We actually haven't even clinched a final spot yet. Is that true? Bulldogs are at 34 points. Roosters are at 24 points. Yeah, okay. No, you're wrong, because there will be teams there that play each other at some point in the next 5 games. So you have. Yeah, you have. You are wrong. But if you look at it on a pure, we don't know who's playing who kind of deal, then sure, mathematically, yeah. But no, mathematically, you have actually already locked up a top 8 spot, because the Warriors, Panthers, Broncos, Dolphins, Sharks, Roosters, and Manly, they'll play each other. Some of those teams will play each other at some point, which will take 2 points off guaranteed. So no, you have, but I get what you're saying. A very Irish potato says, nice to see the siblings of Blazers dinner from last night are playing footy. And that was my lunch, actually, buddy. That was my lunch. Tasmate says, no, the Suns, you muppet. Oh, the Suns. The Sunnies. Yeah, you haven't, actually. Yeah, but I don't want to hate on them. Like, at the end of the day, like, I want to see the Sunnies do well. It's just like, get a grip of yourselves. You know, you shouldn't be talking shit. And I know, by the way, that the Titans aren't happy about it, but, like, it is what it is. Second tackle here at the 40. You could see the women's response to it. You could see the women's response to it, that's for sure. All right, so that's going to be Bulldogs now at the 45. Third tackle, Reed Marnie to left-hand side of Matt Burton. And Burton now at the 30 on fourth tackle. Can I get a rain check for Galvin on 3? Well, Galvin with that 7 tackle set, not great. And that's going to hit the ground. Jamin Salmon at the 40, out to Maxi King. And King is going to be fit tackle now at the 30. 9 minutes into the first half. Roll it back here to Reed Marnie. Reed Marnie to Matt Burton. I wonder how Galvin's going to deal with the pressure today. And good take by Drell Skelton, and he'll get this ball at the 7. Fun fact of the day, found out a week ago I used to play footy with Rinakama's brother. Shit, have you let Channel 9 know yet, or what? They talk about it on NRL 360, yeah. Is Fox League discussing the nature of your history with Jethro Rinakama's brother? Jerome Luai gets this ball to 25. That was a good tackle there by Galvin, but it's actually going to be a penalty. Luai into Galvin. Have a look at him. Luai into Galvin. It's actually a good tackle there from Galvin, considering Luai was just trying to get around him. But, yeah, he got a bit of the hand to the face there. But at the end of the day, Galvin still got a good tackle away. Send him an email. Nice, Logan. Good to hear. Good to hear. Have they blocked you yet? Have they called the police? I would have. That's exactly what I would have done. Terrell May now. He'll be at the 38, first tackle. Very Irish potatoes. Some things are guaranteed. Death taxes and a shitty Galvin haircut. I don't know why he has such a bad haircut. Oh, big hit there from Billy Bombili, William kick out. And Alex Seyfarth rocked at the 35. Up inside Connery Sal gives it off to Alex Twell. And Twell's going to be at the 30 on third tackle. 10 minutes into the first half here, guys. 30 minutes to go of the first half. Hit that like button and subscribe. Alex Seyfarth off to Adam Dewey. And Dewey's going to be 25 metres out, fourth tackle. First attack here for the Tigers. Connery Sal off to Terrell May. Terrell May to Jerome Luai. Luai short ball. And Fainu is going to be 20 metres away on fit tackle. Happy side, Kotowai to Jerome Luai. Kicks the ball back into the centre. Good chance here. Oh, he's caught it. I think it goes backwards. Well, that's a penalty. No, it is going to be a knock-on here for the Tigers. Otherwise, it would have been a penalty against... Yeah, they're saying a knock-on before that. Otherwise, it would have been a penalty for Crichton taking a player out. They might challenge this, but I don't... Oh, Dream Buller probably... I don't know. You couldn't really see it from that angle. But alright, that's going to be Dogs ball here at the 15. Now second tackle with the Bulldogs at the 25. So Daz, did you not go to this game today? Did you not go? Jamin Salmon rocked in the tackle by Taylor May. Third tackle at the 35. I feel like this is going to be a good game. You can tell the intensity and you can tell the atmosphere. 40-20 attempt here, but that's going to go and sit around the 5 infield. Dream Buller picks it up. Gold Coast Titans legend, Mitchell. And Jerome Buller will get this ball out here to the 13. Appy and Kickout must have the same barber. I said my Lambo's bogged. Oh, your Lambo's bogged. Deary me. Ibrahim says, seems like the Tigers fans love Galvin. Yeah, big fans of Galvin. Massive fans of Galvin. Tigers are trying to claim a penalty here. There's Jarrell Skelton's trying to claim a penalty. I don't know if they're going to give it to him. I don't think they're going to give it to him. I don't think so. I'm really happy to see that Suns fans are actually complaining about that post from the Suns. I am happy about that. That's good to see. It's good to see they're not backing in and heaping shit on them. It's only the Suns are getting slapped by their own fans. So Luai now to Fainu. Fainu is going to be at the 25 on fourth tackle. Because it could have easily gone the other way where AFL fans and Suns fans decide to just lump in on the club and make it even worse. But it didn't hit like they wanted it to. Fit tackle here for the 35. And Kotowai Sau is going to kick this ball down to the 10, where it's going to be Jake Kiraz who picks it up, brings it out to the 15, then to the 20, 25, onto Jethro Rinakama. And Rinakama, a bit of toss off, gets the ball to the 30. I wonder if Rinakama has a chance at the wing spot for Fiji in the end of the year test matches in the Pacific Bowl. They'll play Papua New Guinea and Cook Islands. But I wonder if he's a chance because you're going to have maybe, well, Sunda Turuva will be there, but he'll probably play wing. It's going to be a penalty here to the Tigers. For obstruction, penalty to the Tigers here. Penalty to the Tigers, obstruction against Le Bulldog. But yeah, you're going to have Sonia Turuva who'll play on the wing. You'll probably have Jareem Buller obviously playing in the fullback spot. And then you've got Ravelo, who's gone away, so I don't know if he gets in. Tyler Milne doesn't even play anymore. I don't know what Tyler Milne's doing. I wonder who has an opportunity. I don't know. Who's the other winger for Fiji? Because Fiji have a good backline. They always do. Maybe 1 through 5, not 6 and 7. Kurt Donahue will play in the halves, though. Obviously, Appy will play 9. And now it's going to be 6 again here for the Tigers. They're 10 metres away from the line. First tackle through Alex Seyfarth. Mike off the bench is like a winger second row. They're not going to put him on the bench as a winger, but especially when Fiji will need all the forwards they can get without a... Oh, Dewey gets away here. Dewey gets away here with the 5. I think he may have a shout at the wings, but... Try time of the Tigers! Try time Jarrell Skelton. He will score. The ex-Canterbury Bulldog will score for the Tigers, and they lead 4-0 here with a kick to come. Jarrell Skelton. He gets over against his former club. And it is 4-0 El Tigres. Biggest problem with Fiji is the halves. The biggest problem with the islands is always the halves. Fiji, Samoa, Tonga, Papua New Guinea, Cook Islands. The problem is always the halves. Semi Valame would be more so centre. So yeah, that was a good run there from Dewey, and then just gets that offload away, and they've got the numbers. Dream Buller gets it off to Jarrell Skelton. He scores in the corner, and Brocky Sports says, try time, bing bong, mother bleach. Let me see, last year, I want to see last year's Fiji team, and see who's still cracking on. Or is it Pacific Championships? Let's go Fiji Bati. Fiji Bati against Papua. Because Micah Sivo is not going to be playing anymore. Or maybe. Is Micah Sivo still cracking on over in Super League? They got Wonga Blake. Michael Jennings is gone. Semi Valame did play wing, to be fair. Michael Jennings, Sivo, Sunitruva. If they've got a full strength team in, you'd be putting Dream. So Dewey here from the wing. Wow, it is starting to rain hard again. You've been slapped by rain this weekend, Sydney. Dearie me, you've been slapped by rain this weekend. Adam Dewey for the 6-0 Bull game. He will get it over the black dot. Beautiful kick. Beautiful kick there for Adam Dewey. And it will be 6-0. Alright, so, yeah, I would be putting Dream Buller to the fullback. I would put Sunya Taruva to the wing. You would probably have... Shit. Maybe Rinakama to the other wing. Maybe. Pretty sure he tore his ACL. Who tore his ACL? You talking about Micah? Sivo? I don't know. It's actually very interesting. I'd need to see who is eligible for Fiji and who's going to play. Because like guys like Regan Campbell-Gillard are eligible, and would get selected, but I highly doubt that it'll do it. So James Bulldogs lose. Will they be on fraud alert? Absolutely. Tigers now, second tackle will be at the 15. Dasman says, can't really talk shit when you had a prime Gary Ablett Jr. and the highest you finished was 12th. You shouldn't be talking shit. That's correct. The highest the Suns have ever finished is actually 10th, but I still agree with his statement. So, fourth tackle now for the Tigers, and they will get this ball to the 35. But it's like, yeah, two teams that have struggled throughout their entire history, and you're going to wait for a controversial moment like that to shit on them? Ridiculous. All right, it's the Bulldogs. They can bring it out here to the 25 through Inari Tuala. And it'll be first tackle. And they go left-hand side. Galvin off to Rinnakarman. He'll be at the 35. Oh, geez, how embarrassing would this be for Galvin if the Dogs lost this game, though, and he didn't play well? Tigers fans would just rib into him. And I just know what Instagram and social media would be like if that was the case. If the Bulldogs don't win this game, he's going to have a horrid time. Does he have Instagram, by the way? Oh, knock on from the Dogs, is it? No, they're going to say it's bring it back here to play the ball at full tackle at the 40. Does Galvin have Instagram, or does he not have it because he knows how much he gets criticised by the fans? So fifth tackle, Reid Marnie off to Matt Burton, and Burton's going to put that one up high in the air to about the 20. Jarrell Skelton's bench safe under the high ball today, and he gets that one. Oh, he does have Insta. So does he leave his comments on or does he turn them off? I haven't seen Galvin. Oh, he does. Yeah, okay, fair enough. He doesn't have comments on. Yep. I knew that was coming. Full comments open and no, wrong. No, he's turned his comments off, dude. The last one that you can comment on was 4th of January. You're literally the reason why the Dogs are going to miss the finals, someone said is the first comment. Well, they're not going to miss the finals. Winning 8 for everyone, bro. Who are you supporting? Oh, yeah, Tigers fan. Winning 8 for everyone, bro. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you'd know full well about that. Hurts to see you, at least there's one Tigers fan here who was nice. Hurts to see you go, but just keep playing the best footy you are. But yeah, no, I think he's turned the comments off because he knows about today, obviously today's game, right? Obviously today's game. Sean says, no way Gary Ablett Jr. in his prime at GC, his best was feeling. Geelong. I am a Geelong fan, so I agree with you. But with that being said, that is more so with the like, what's your point that you're making with that? No one said that Gary Ablett Jr. was at his prime at the Suns. Lachlan Galvin, he's away here at the 40, the 45, the 50, and the 45 on the Tiger side of the field, 4 tackle. A lot of boos. His manager, Def, tell him to turn it off. Yes and no, he probably would have decided to as well. I don't think he would have wanted his social media to be absolutely just torn a new one on this post specifically today. But, like, I feel for him, man. I do feel for him. At the end of the day, he is still a human being. And whilst we all know how to deal with the shade that gets thrown from public and whatnot, like, he gets it a lot for a 19-year-old. And Adam Dilley with a good run here. He's away here, Adam Dilley. He's away here, Adam Dilley. He's still going here. They got 2-on-1. They got 2-on-1. They got Dream Buller. They got Dream Buller. They got Dream Buller. He gives it up to Dream. Dream's with the 140, the 35, the 30. Dream Buller. Dream the Dream Buller. Maluya. 6-0 turns into 10-0. The Tigers are up by 10. Dream. The Dream. Dosso Viti. Dream. The Dream. Dosso Viti. Bulla Malaya, baby. That is 10-0 with a kick to come. The Tigers, Adam Dilley gets out from underneath in the dummy and then just passes the ball to Dream Buller, and you just knew that Dream Buller was going to have the pace to get past Kiraz there, and he does, and he will score out of the right-hand side. See you later. Jasmine says, kill the stream. Not going to kill on the stream, but you just got to hope that Mitchell doesn't tune in anytime soon. You just got to hope that Mitchell doesn't tune in anytime soon. No. So try confirmed. Try confirmed. Bulla. It was close to a forward pass, but at the end of the day, they will call that as a backwards out of the hand. I do think that's backwards out of their hands, but I can understand why Dogs fans might be upset. Did the Suns delete my comment on there, sir? No. I was going to say, what the hell? What the hell? So 20 minutes into the first half for you guys. 20 minutes to go. Hit that thumbs up button and subscribe if you're new around here. Like, how full was that forward pass? I would be more inclined to say that it's backwards out of the hands, but I can understand why Dogs fans would be frustrated with it. Chasers was flat as lagging. Alright. So it's about to be 12-0 ball game. But don't forget, guys, like, this game is well and surely not over. Long way to go. 1 second. Or just check chat, Jay. Alright, so the Tigers will miss the kick and it will stay 10-0 first half to the Tigers. 10-0 first half. I just did. Alright, so 10-0 Tigers. They're off to a great start here. A long way to go in the game, though. A long way to go. Sean says, come on, Doggies, left the game. Yeah, it's not great. Not great now. Tigers fired up. Galvin, you got to get them up. You got to get them up and rocking, baby. You got to get them up and rock and rolling here, man, because right now you're not rocking, but you're definitely rolling. That's for sure. Rolling in a bad way. Now, first tackle for the Tigers, and they're going to get this ball to the 13. Tigers, remember, if you win this game, you will avoid the spoon. And Dogs, you lose this game, well, your minor premiership hopes are probably good as gone. Libby says, when you know what they are talking about without needing the messages. Jay says, RFS will be loving this. I haven't spoken to Zach in a while, actually. Is he streaming today's game? How's he cracking on? Surely are they still kicking on? I haven't spoken to him in a little bit. And Tigers get the ball offload. 4th tackle, Drummond at the 45. The 50, taken down. They streamed today for New Orleans Saints. Yeah, so they're doing a bit of NFL. When was the last time they did the NRL? Alright, Bulldogs ball here at the 15. And penalty. Penalty. I don't think they do NRL content anymore. He's not on today. The last time they did was the Warriors vs Tigers game 2 weeks ago. That's the last time they did NRL content. I wonder what's going on. Anyway, penalty to the Dogs. I'll message him after. Chuck a dog a bone, you feel me? It's the least we can do. Oh, yes. Yeah, no, we sympathise for you up there in 3rd. Walnut Hills is coming to Tigers. Yeah, you definitely want the Tigers to win. Well, right now, as a Raiders fan, Walnut Hill, you just need the Dogs not to score 26 unanswered points because they need to win by 16 points or more. I can't see the Dogs necessarily from here winning by 16 points or more. So they have to, score 26 points and keep the Tigers at 10 if they want to go above the Raiders. So 3rd tackle now for the Dogs, and they'll be at the 40 on the Tigers side of the field. And oh no, that's a mistake. To play the ball. Yep, knock on. That's a knock on there from Maxi King. And the Tigers going to get the ball here at the 40. Jeez, this weather is just, this is like taking you back. This is old days muddy patch. Like, how muddy is this field? Have you actually got like a cyclone happening in Sydney? What's happening? Have you actually got a cyclone happening in Sydney this weekend? It's been romper stomper. Sean says, only 40 more points and our premiership dreams are over. Okay, we're talking about... That's a feedy bump discussion. Sean's getting time to 5 minutes. It's a subtle way of doing it, but the moderators... Sean, you got to learn the rules here today. You can't talk about the feedy bump without it being a 50-30. Tigers get the penalty at the 40. That is a very, very sneaky and subtle way of referring to a feedy bump there. Oh my gosh, Sean, you've actually done yourself a mischief. You've done yourself a mischief. We have not hit the thrifty 30 yet. We will see you in 5 minutes. Jonathan says, try time. Yeah, try getting timed out for Lion. So it's going to be Tigers now. Kick this ball over to 33 with the penalty. Dasher says, I think New South Wales is due for a drought. What? Dasher says, it's the least we can do. No, piss off. He played it. First tackle now with the Tigers at the 33. Scott James said, Bulldogs lose today. Do you see them making the grand final, losing in straight sets? I don't think they lose in straight sets. I still think that today won't tell me that they're not going to make the grand final, but the Storm aren't playing well. The Bulldogs, besides the game against Manly last week, aren't really playing great footy, but it was a great win against Manly, but also, second tackle here, they kick it through, and that's going to be a drop ball. And it's going to be drop out. Jeez, this game has everything right now. Anari Tuala only just gets it. Anari Tuala just gets back in. It's going to be a drop out from the Bulldogs to the Tigers. This game is not going to tell me that they don't do it. The Raiders lost yesterday. The Storm are struggling, but yet struggling. Dogs are struggling. They won a game last week, but then yesterday proved to us that Manly are a bit of shithousery. The Warriors don't even start me. The Panthers, they shouldn't have even won yesterday against the 16th place Titans. The Broncos, oh my gosh, this game's all over the shop. And that's going to be a dropout that goes over the sideline because Tarova tried to kick it and it will go over the sideline for the Bulldogs ball. It's a great kick from Birdo. It's a great kick and Tarova just couldn't keep it in and it will go out around the 13. Weather-wise, there's been so much rain this year in New South Wales. Yeah, well, at least the farmers will be happy. So second tackle here for the Dogs, and they will be at the 23. Now, says, boo that, Tigers fans. Well, that's, they're up 10-0 right now. I don't think they're booing much. Third tackle for the Dogs at the 28. I genuinely will say I do not know who makes the grand final this year. I do not. Oh, he's lost the ball. The Dogs knock on. Oh boy, that's not good, Viliami kick out. You can't really be playing that elusive offload game today with the rain and how wet it is. You can't really be doing that. But yeah, definitely a knock on there from Kikau and then Reed Marnie. David says, I'm going for a walk. Yep. Yeah, no, I get you. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to walk straight to this fridge and I'm going to get a Diet Coke. That's what I'm going to do, and you're not going to stop me. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to go get a cold one from over there. I love the ones in the fridge are not cold, but the other ones are fine. Give me 1 second here. All right, Tigers with the ball at the 35, and they're going to get this ball to the 30. First tackle. Give me 1 sec. We're back. Oh, yeah, well, I did actually, funnily enough, Olivia, I did actually get the sniffy jar. I did. All right, we're back. Is the carrot working again? Sweet. Yeah, he's got him. He's got the old sniffy jar. All right, Tigers now. They're 20 metres away from the line. 4 tackle. Beautiful now. Beautiful. Knock on Tigers. You're going to see a lot of this today, guys. You're going to see a lot of knock-ons today. Wet weather footy. How about it? Max Watson says, who are the top 3 teams you want to see win the comp based on who you think can realistically do it this year? Anyone in the top 8 right this very second realistically can do it this year? The Roosters aren't going to do it. I can see a world where any of Raiders, Storm, Bulldogs, Warriors, Panthers, Broncos, Dolphins and Sharks win it. I'm serious. I am serious. Sharks have the team there. They just haven't been consistent with it. But if they can find some form before finals, then sure, they can win it. Dolphins, still a bit more proof I need to see. Oh my gosh, this is one of those ones where it's like, oh my gosh. Can't open that yet. So it's first tackle now for the Dogs at the 25. And now they will get this ball. Second tackle to the 30. So my answer to your question would be obviously Raiders. I will say Storm. And the captain goes down with his ship. Sharks. Dogs knock on. You are going to see so many knock-ons today. Knock on here, knock on there, knock on everywhere. Knock on here, knock on there, knock on everywhere. That's what happens in this weather footy, son. Knock on here, knock on there, knock on literally everywhere. Errors so far has been 5 errors to the Tigers, 4 errors to the Dogs. Make that 5 errors to the Dogs. That's my sound back from my walk. Well, as a person... oh, by the way, Max, actually, here's a great question for you. Remember how we had that conversation on Friday night? Do you see what I mean now? Do you see what I mean? I know you know what I'm referring to. I'm not having a go at you. I'm just asking you. Do you now definitely see what I mean regarding the Panthers? Because yesterday validated my opinion quite strongly. Lazo says, how's Galvin playing? Well... Not great, mate. Not great. So third tackle now for the Tigers at the 30. Kel James says, were they playing, bro? Where are they playing? They're playing at Combank Stadium in Sydney. It's really muddy track, really wet weather, which is what we've seen from all the Sydney games this weekend. So you're going to continue to see errors in this game. They go right inside, up inside, Cottery South, Terrell May, 4 tackle, 13 metres out. Adam Dewey. Dewey to Fainu, and he'll be 10 metres out. Fifth tackle. Happy Cottery South goes short side, kicks it through, tries up the Tigers. It's 14-0 with a kick to come, Dogs. What are you doing? It's 14-0 with a kick to come to the Tigers. Canterbury Bulldogs, what are you doing? Oh no. Oh no, doggy, woof, woof. Oh no. Oh no. No. Tasman says complete wank. Well, Tigers fans, get up and get loud. You'd be happy with this right now. 10 minutes to go the first half, 30 minutes gone. Hit that like button and subscribe if you're new around here. The El Tigres, the Tigers. Raiders fans, you should be wearing a Tigers jersey right now. Raiders fans, you should be jumping up and down. Like, listen, I've been complaining about Michael Ennis not wearing pants during Panthers games in the commentary booth. Well, I reckon Raiders fans aren't wearing pants right now. Tasty says, after this weekend, only 8 points left till the end of the season. No. 8 points left? No, there's 5 games to go after this round, so that'd be 10 points. No. Am I wrong? This is round 22, round 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Yeah, there's still 10 points left. Unless you are a... No, I'm definitely right here. Surely I'm correct. Yeah, 27 rounds. We're around 22. So 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Yeah, 10 points. Show us a fraud alert, mate. The fraud alert side is going... It is getting ready to rock and roll. It is about to start sirening up. But we did see yesterday that things can change very quickly. So let's relax a little bit. We have seen the Dogs come back from results before this year. Brent the 10 says Titans were ripped off. What was that trainer thinking? Go to Tigers. The trainer plus the no penalty try plus the no sin bin plus the Bo Firma apparent strip. Oh yeah, we were ripped off. But Adam Dewey will miss a kick. Here's the post. It will be 14-0 to the Tigers with 9 minutes to go in the first half. Brent the 10 says you are always correct. I'm not always correct, but I am always correct. You are right there, but I'm not always correct. But the only time that I was not correct, I still figured out that I was correct. Like it says, Luai's smug face pisses me off. Yeah, he'd be happy with this. Max says, 100%, I definitely agree. They are not a perfect team. I was more just trying to highlight the positives of their game the last couple of months. Best defense. Nonetheless, very exciting season. Yeah, very exciting season. We don't know nothing about what this season is going to provide in this last 5 games. Nothing. Lee says, I saw a Titans jersey today at my local market selling for $15. Oh, knock on Tigers. Knock on here, knock on there, knock on everywhere. Knock on Tigers. Dogs will get the ball here at the 20. Scam alert. No, scam's too much. The Dogs would have to lose now and then now again to go on scam. They would definitely go on fraud alert though if they lose. Yeah, Ibrahim, we can't be using comments like that, brother. I can understand why Jay's timed you out. But anyway, this Dolphins attack is one of the best. They'll make the top 5. Disagree. I think the Sharks' schedule is very, very easy. I think the Sharks have a very easy schedule. The Panthers still have 3 games against the Bulldogs, Raiders, and Storm to go. The Broncos still played the Storm twice and also the Dolphins. I think the Sharks are in a bit of a prime opportunity here to, if they win today against the Cowboys, they could get on a bit of a roll and even push up for where the Warriors are in the top 4. Because if the Sharks win today, they'll be 4 points short and they have a pretty easy schedule to come home. All right, so the Dogs now, they're 5 metres out, 3rd tackle. Dolphins are still absolutely a bit how you going, but they've had great attack against bottom 4 teams for the last 8 weeks, minus the Warriors game. But the Warriors, they had 7 players out, and they only just struggled to get over the line in the end against them. And they had 7 players out, and all the players they had on the field were actually mixing up in the positions and playing out of position. 5th tackle now for the Dogs. They're 7 metres away here from the line. Their Dogs will need to score before half time. Reed Marnie gives it to Kurt Mann, to Lachlan Galvin. Galvin at the back now to Burton. He drops it, and the Tigers could be away here. The Tigers are away. Adam Dewey, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50. The Tigers are going to score. The Tigers are going to score. The Tigers are going to score. Adam Dewey, get out of here, son! Tigers will score 18-0 with a kick to come. The Dogs are getting whacked right now, dude. The Dogs are getting whacked. The Dogs are getting whacked right now, dude. 18-0 with a kick to come. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Oh my goodness me. The Tigers are slapping the Bulldogs. And you've got to remember, they've missed a few of their conversions too. Birdo drops the ball. Dewey picks it up at the 20. Dogs, you've got to have a really slow team if you don't have anybody who can catch Adam Dewey, to be completely honest with you, after multiple ACLs. But Dewey does outrun every Dogs player, and he will score 18-0 with the kick to come. Yeah, very, very good, since they definitely don't like the wet. The Dogs are not a good wet team. That is for sure. That is for sure, dude. Wowee. Joshua's Adventure says, if Bulldogs lose, we get to hear NRL 360 debate Galvin versus Sexton again. Please don't do that to us, mate. Please don't. Please don't. Really, you going to do this to us? Are you going to do that to us? Adam Dewey slapping away. Dogs schedule, Jimmy James, coming to the back end. You've got... Next week they play the Warriors in a massive game. That is a huge game. The Warriors need to win, and the Bulldogs this is, man, they beat Manly well last week, but outside of that, their last 2 months have been horrific, the Dogs. I don't care about the win against the Dragons and Cowboys, because Dogs fans know what I'm talking about there, but they play the Warriors next week, then the Roosters, the Storm, the Panthers, and the Sharks. Wow, that's a tough run for the Doggies. That's actually perfect for them, though. It is perfect for them. They want to play the better teams coming into the finals. Warriors, Roosters, Storm, Panthers, and Sharks. Yeah, every team they play is in the top 9. So that's a pretty huge run home. Yeah, the Dogs are all nervous after you ate some. Maybe I'm the reason here for the Dogs fall off. Maybe I'm the reason. Even a Kiwi says, what a weekend of footy. Don't do it. Don't remind me what happened. And the Tigers will convert it, so it's 20 points, 2-0 with 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Dogs fans, what are you doing? Doggy, doggy, woof, woof, no woof right now. What you doing, doggy, woof, woofs? What you doing? All this Tigers up to let in a 20-point comeback. Could absolutely happen. That's why I'm not putting them on fraud alert yet, the Bulldogs. I wonder what James Hooper will write up for Fox Sports tomorrow. Well, guys, there's still 45 minutes to go of the game. Like, let's not... Game not over yet, but the Dogs just don't usually like playing the wet. Bulldogs have won 12 from 12 against teams in the current bottom 9. Well, not looking good. And that's going to be Tigers who bring this ball out here to the 13 on first tackle. Dom says, comeback Kings, bros. Yeah, not in the wet weather, though, bros. Logan says, Ritakama, Fijian winger, gets outpaced by Adam Toohey. Oh, there's a mistake. It's a knock-on from the Tigers. So the Dogs will get the ball here at the 20. That says it's going to be a legendary comeback. Yeah, well, if Casey Badger has anything to do with it, you won't get it. Prey says, nothing smells worse than a wet dog. Or maybe their fans do. I'm gonna let that one be your comment. Sean says, I wonder what James Hooper will write. Oh yeah, James Hooper, he got sacked, mate, because he's too busy drinking and driving. So the Dogs here, he'll get taken down. Bronson Seri at the 22, first tackle. The last time they were here, they conceded, the Bulldogs. So they're 22 metres out. Let's see if they can hold the ball and not give up another 80-metre Adam Dewey try. And the Dogs here will be 18 metres away, second tackle. Very, very good. Says, only teams they beat of note were Sharks and Raiders. Yeah, no, I'm aware. But also, I think it's Raiders are very good, though. And Sharks are like half notable. They're definitely half notable. Jacob Preston, you're not happy. 6 again for the Dogs. And Dogs are 5 metres out from the line. Tracy says Hooper was sacked from Fox for drink driving. Yeah. NRL has a massive drink driving problem. Maybe the Broncos will sign him up and get him a contract with drink driving because apparently their staff will love to do that. Second tackle now for the Bulldogs. They're 5 metres out from the line. 3 minutes 47 to go the first half. Skulker says the Galvin boos are crazy. Yeah, like it was going to happen though. It was always going to happen. Kurt Mann, 6 again. 2 metres out from the line here. First tackle, Dogs. You've got plenty of opportunity to score right now. Not that your attack's been great this season. They give it to Billy on a kick out. He will be 8 metres out from the line. Second tackle. I think the Dogs came back from 20 down to the Raiders, didn't they? Yep, they did. That was also on a dry track though. They also came back against the Roosters. They came back against multiple teams. Galvin gets rocked at the 5. Third tackle. They roll it back to Reid Marnie. Reid Marnie off to Kurt Mann. Kurt Mann at the back here to Stephen Crichton. Crichton short ball. Jacob Preston. Try time for the Doggies. And Jacob Preston puts them over. 20-4 with a kick to come. Well, maybe the comeback could be on. With 3 minutes to go the first half, the Tigers be split by that one. That was a very easy try there for Jacob Preston just to walk on through. Doggy, woof, woof. And as soon as Preston was kind of even close to the line there, you just knew he was going to roll on through. And it's a nice, easy pass there from Stephen Crichton. And Taylor May and Jerome Luai had no chance. They didn't have any chance. Tasman says, keep that same energy. You talking me? You talking me? I've been sitting there for the last 5-10 minutes trying to tell everyone to calm down. The game's not over yet. You talking me, son? You talk to me, Mr. Doggy Woof Woof, or I'll order some dog meat again. You want me to do that again? Hey? Don't think so. I'll get the curse on you. So 2 minutes 14 to go the first half. Most tries this year for the Bulldogs. Marcelo Montoya, Bronson Seri, and now Jacob Preston equal on 8. Tasman says Tigers Muppets. Well, they are still up by 16 points on your dads. This is the only problem with your statement. Yeah, you've made a statement there. It's a very interesting one. Very interesting one. At halftime, I need to go open this window. That's for sure. Comes to James Hooper, Ezra Mam collab would go great. James Hooper, Ezra Mam collab would go crazy. Yeah, James Hooper talking to Ezra Mam about his situation. Matt Swan says, who do you reckon is on track for Dally M medal? Tedesco. Nathan Cleary will get close, but Tedesco. All right, Stephen Crichton. He is going to hit the post and miss. Stays at a 16-point game. Hit the post and miss. I agree that Kurt Mann should be the starting 13 for the Bulldogs. Very, very good. Very, very good. Haven't seen any Burton bombs this game. I thought in these conditions would have been a decent option. That's because we've seen more knock-ons than hot feeds. It's because we see knock on here, knock on there, knock on everywhere. So the doggy can't do nothing with the kicking because they don't have the ball. No got no ball. Don't forget Talamay going 200 kilometres down the M4. Well, okay, let's stop talking about these issues. Let's get off this drink driving and certain situations in the chat. So first tackle here for the Dogs, and they are 13 metres out from their own line. Sean James, now I'm going for a walk. Well, the old chain might watch out. Second tackle now at the 20. Minute 13 to go the first half. Out to Kurt Mann. Kurt Mann to Matt Burton. Billy Von Billy. He'll be taken down to the 25. Third tackle. Minute to go. He's lost the ball. He's lost the ball there. He's lost the ball. No. Referee. Hello? It's either a knock-on or a penalty. That was... Excuse me, referee. Excuse me. That was awful, that call. Oh, my gosh. NRL officiating. You stink, bro. Dead set. Like, it's actually insane. And I'm still annoyed about yesterday. And tough one to grab there, but Dream Buller does touch it with his foot, and it will be Tigers ball at 25. Dasmate says, let's be honest, the game should have been postponed. The field conditions are unsafe. Yeah, well, let's be honest, the Titans-Panthers game should have been postponed yesterday because of the incompetence of the brains of the referees. Second tackle now for the Tigers, now third at the 30. That's a penalty. No. What's the sniffing jar for? Scott, this is a herbal inhaler. You can get them in Thailand. It's really good just to kind of wake yourself up, and it's like it relieves the nose and stuff like that. It just gets you going. Gets you going, mate. It's actually quite healthy and solid, so... Yeah, no, we smack it in. We got it when we were in Thailand. And they can last for a year. They can last for years. I've had mine for about 4 months now. But all right, half time here, ladies and gentlemen. It is 20 points to 4 to the Tigers. A lot of rain around. Game's still not over yet. The Dogs did just score to bring it back within 16 points. But wow, good performance there from the Tigers. Not a good performance there from the Dogs. And right now, Raiders fans, you'd be very happy because the Dogs would have to win 36-20 for them to go above you into first position. So Dogs right now just playing for second. Whilst the Tigers, if they win this game, they will, you would assume, avoid a spoon. But guys, hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And God help us in regards to these stats because they are going to be absolutely rough. But Benny West, you've done yourself a disservice there, mate. You can't talk about the Fitty Bomb until the Thrifty 30, and Jay has slapped you down for it. Now, possession-wise, 54% for the Dogs, 46% for the Tigers. You go to the time possession, 12 minutes and 19 seconds for the Bulldogs, 10 minutes and 59 seconds for the Tigers. A lot of the ball has been out of play, 18 minutes worth of ball out of play, or 17 minutes. Ball out of play is rough. Completion rate. In these conditions, I'd be happy to bump it down to a 75% completion rate. Even potentially a 70% completion rate is what you would normally be at the 80%, because it's really hard to hold the ball here today. I will take it down to 75%, which means they're still both not hitting the mark. At 72% for the Tigers at 16 from 22. And the Bulldogs are at 68%, which is 13 from 19. So both teams not necessarily hitting the mark, the adjusted mark of 75%. But with that being said, at least the Tigers are close enough to it. And you're going to see a lot of errors in today's kind of game with this weather. Now, runs-wise, 79 runs for the Bulldogs, 64 runs here for the Tigers. And the run meters for the Bulldogs is 599. Tigers are at 643. So the Tigers are quite literally at 10 meters on average per run right now, which is what the normal metric is. Bulldogs are well underneath that. The Bulldogs have 50 less meters made on the dot than the Tigers with an extra 14 runs. with an extra 14 runs. So here's a perfect metric for you. Based on the fact that the Tigers are now 65 for 649, they are averaging at 10 metres per run on average. So give them the 14 extra runs to get them to 79. That's 140 extra metres. The Tigers would be at 790 metres in this game compared to 599 for the Bulldogs. So they would be up by 200 metres with an equated amount of ball and runs and possession. That is really crazy. They'd be up by 200 metres. So although the Tigers are running behind on the technical basis, again, another run that they've just given them, and it is another 2 runs, and they've given them 20 metres. So again, they are averaging at 10 metres per run, 657, 599, 13 runs behind. Post-contact metres is 200 for the Dogs, 171 there for the Tigers. You probably lean in advantage of the Dogs there, but a difficult metric to read. Line breaks is 2-1 to the Tigers. Tackle breaks is 15-13 to the Tigers, with the average set distance. Now, 25 and under is, you know what, in wet weather conditions like this, you adjust it. 20 and under is you turn the stream off. 20 to 25 is disgusting. Don't even spit it. 25 to 30 is underwhelming. 30 to 35 is an average marker for a wet weather game like this, where you need to be at least hitting 30. It's usually at 35, but you bring it down for a wet weather game like this. So 30 to 35 is average, what you would expect. 35 to 40 is great. 40 to 45 is fantastic, and anything above 45 in an average set distance in a game like this would be absolutely perfect and incredible. The Tigers are at 29.91, which would normally be disgusting, but in a game like this, it's just at the extreme high end of underwhelming. It's not that great. It's not hitting the marker of 30, but they are at 29.91, so they're basically getting it, but they're still not quite there. And the Bulldogs are at 31.56, which means that they are into the average category. It's probably the mid-range of 31.56. Not too bad. It's what you would expect. You don't write home about it, but at least they're hitting that 30 mark. Then you got to the play the ball speed. 3.46 seconds for the Tigers, 3.94 seconds for the Bulldogs. In wet weather conditions, that's still very slow for the Bulldogs. In normal conditions, that's extremely slow for the Bulldogs. But in wet weather, as slow, and it's still probably quite slow. For the Tigers at 3.46 seconds, that's actually really fast. That's very speedy for a wet weather game like this. Now you go to the offloads, 3-1 in favour of the Tigers. At least you're getting offloads away, but in wet weather like this, you wouldn't recommend it. Then you move down to the kick refusal, 100% for the Tigers, 0% for the Dogs. Yikes. Forced dropouts is 1-1. For both teams. Then you go to the defensive effective tackle percentage. 88% to 90% is what you would expect. 90% and above is fantastic. 85 to 88% is underwhelming, and 85% and below is pathetic. The Tigers are at 89.62%, and the Bulldogs are at 88.61%, so they're both at the exact same rate pretty much. It's a 1% difference, but they're inside the same category between 88 and 90, which is what you would expect. Tigers at 89.62%, 164 tackles made for 13 missed tackles and 6 ineffective tackles. So 19 bad tackles is, one second, it's not that bad at all. 19 bad tackles, you're definitely not scoffing at that. In wet weather, they're doing pretty well. They're close enough to the 90% marker. You're not complaining, and 13 missed tackles is underneath the average of 15 to 17. Anything above 17 is anything 18 and above is awful. 15 to 17 is average, and anything under 14 and below is very good. So the Tigers at 13, they're not complaining, and 6 ineffective is not bad. And then for the Bulldogs at 88.61%, 140 tackles made, 15 missed tackles, and 3 ineffectives. That's 18 bad tackles. So they're in the average category for the missed tackles, 15, but the ineffective is very, very limited at 3. So, look, 18 bad tackles, 19 bad tackles, it's the same thing both ways. Overall, both defenses are fine here today so far. And you've got to remember the Tigers scored one of their tries off of a drop ball in the attack for the Dogs until he just ran the length of the field. Then you go to the negative play. 7 errors for the Tigers, 5 errors for the Bulldogs. Actually pretty good on an error count for the Bulldogs. Considering the wet weather, usually you would say that anything 8 to 10, maybe 7 to 10 is getting towards the... 7-8 is probably on the average side. Maybe 6 to 8. I'll go 6 to 8 is more on the average side for errors in a game like this. So I think the Dogs are actually doing pretty well with only 5 errors, but the Tigers are in the average count of 7. Penalties conceded is 3-2 Dogs way. Ruck infringements is 3-2 Tigers way, and then on reports is 1-0 Tigers. So look, overall, a normal amount of errors. Dogs are limiting it a little bit. Defensively, both teams aren't too bad. Nothing spectacular, but aren't too bad. And then you go to the playable speed. Dogs very, very slow. Tigers pretty fast, to be fair. Line breaks an advantage to the Tigers. The run meters are well and truly an advantage to the Tigers. 13 less runs and up by 60 meters. That's ridiculous. Like, if you equate the ball, they're up by about 200 meters. Like, that's ridiculous. So the Tigers are dominating that middle of the field with the run meters. And then you go to the possession, and the Tigers are just a little bit in advance there. So, yeah, overall, I do think the Tigers win this game. I do, but I could see the Dogs come back, but I do think the Tigers win this game from here. Beersman says, wet weather, the great equaliser. It ain't over yet, so whoever scores next will be important to who wins, I think. Yeah, I agree. I think that this game is still on. We all know that comebacks absolutely happen. The Dogs have done it multiple times this season. But the Dogs aren't a good wet weather team. It's a fact. Like, they have not been a good wet weather team for a very long time, to be honest with you. And they're always consistently struggling when it comes to wet weather and getting a good flow on. So I don't know if they're going to be able to come back here today, but knowing the NRL, anything can still happen, man. Quite literally anything can still happen. Matty says there's a whole nother half, so it is bad. Yeah, this is bad. This is bad right now, but there is still a whole second half to go for Chase. Ibrahim says, speaking of that Titans game, saw some Muppet say that he missed it anyway. Why does it matter? Because it's called icing the kicker. It is a deliberate play to ice the kicker. It's what they do in the NFL. It's called a distraction. It is a negative. It's now inside JC's head as he's about to kick it. Some guy runs in front of him, and that then completely distracts him from the play in such a critical moment. And it's like some people are like, oh, Cleary would have gone back and kicked it. And it's like, sure, but at the end of the day, it wasn't him who was doing it. And at the end of the day, you don't know if he would have done that. And it was an illegal play. It was quite literally cheating. And then you see some numpty on ABC Sport today go, oh, well, we have to take their word for it that it was an accident, that it was an accident. Fuck off. We don't have to take their word for it. We don't have to take the Panthers' word for jack shit, actually. I think Cleary was smiling when it happened and laughing. The trainer who ran past it was smirking and laughing at it as well. Puts his hand up like this, like, okay, like, cool, someone could go and kill someone and put their hand up and say, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to. It's like, but we saw you do it. We saw you stab him. We saw you put the knife into the back. And he was like, oh, no. Didn't mean to do it. I'm sorry. Like, no, you don't just take their word for it. Like some numpty on ABC Sport having the audacity to say, oh, that's all right, calm down. Shut your mouth. John Tippett says, wow, it's a long way to go, but all day long, that's a good lead. Good lead? That's a good lead for the Tigers. It's a good lead. So a good lead. Logan says, Renakama low-key been selling the wing. Laz, I'd probably suggest to go back and have a look at the highlights, mate. It'll definitely show it on the highlights. Jimmy James says, do you think that the NRL should introduce a rule for trainer interference? The rule is, there is a rule right now where the Titans should have had a kick from right in front. That is the rule. If you go and have a look at the rules, if there is a deliberate action in regards to a conversion that impacts the conversion or a penalty, you get a kick from immediately in front. That is the rule. But obviously Casey Badger, husband works at the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I'm happy to say this too, I don't care. But husband works at the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Funny is that the team that got harshly criticised in regards to clearing the high tackle contact on Phil Sammy. So that's either a penalty try or a sin bin, mind you. Neither were called. Then you've also got the Bo Firma strip that was just ridiculous that led into a Panthers try, their first try of the game. You've also got the trainer incident where the referee and the bunker didn't even know the rules of the sport, which is what they are officiating. But it's funny that Casey Badger has a husband who works for the Rabbitohs, and that is the team that desperately needed the Titans to lose yesterday to keep them and win the chance of jumping out of the spoon. And Casey Badger, another start here, on frequent occasions against the Titans. Let's look at the Raiders games when we saw that the Titans should have had a penalty from right in front due to an offside against, I think it was KO Weeks at the time. This was last year in Canberra. We would have won the game in extra time, but she didn't call it. And then there was also the David Fafita no try against Canberra a couple of years ago. Casey Badger makes me sick, and I'll always criticise her. It has nothing to do with the fact that she's a female. She's just an idiot. Like, she's just a straight-up idiot. So people are always going to try and take the woke approach and say people are criticising Casey and criticising Belinda and whatnot because they're just females. It's like, no, Ashley Klein's just as bad. Grant Atkins can make mistakes. Liam Kennedy makes plenty of mistakes himself and did make a mistake by not adjudicating on that call yesterday with the trainer. We'll criticise the men just as much as we criticise the women. But Casey Badger is a tosser. And I'll say that consistently. I'll continue to say that every single week because she is incompetent. She is incompetent for the job, and I have absolutely no idea why she is allowed to continuously referee games, whether it be on the field or in the bunker. She is incompetent. And I straight up hope the NRL sees that, because she is absolutely incompetent, and the entirety of the NRL continuously criticise this person. They continuously do it, and it's not because of any other reason besides the fact that she is stupid when it comes to this game, and literally will cost teams. And it's not just the Titans, she will cost teams week in, week out, week in, week out. We are always sitting here over years and years and years. We are still sitting here talking about Casey Badger. We are still sitting here talking about this chick. It's insane that we're still talking about the same problems every single year with this person, but the NRL doesn't care. And they try to take this, oh, we'll deal with it. You don't deal with shit. The NRL never deals with anything. And they let the fans get to this point of frustration and anger, and they go, oh, no. You know, like, come on, man. NRL needs to do this way better, but they take this woke approach, dude. Jimmy J, since 2003 says, was disappointed when the train did that from what was a crazy finish yesterday. Absolutely. Aussie Mozzie said, I don't get how she was approved to ref past the NRLW. Because, Gav. Kel James says, hey, Bubba, we'd like to know, how do you have so much knowledge of footy? Who did you watch footy with growing up? Cheers. I just always watched it my whole life, mate. You know, we've watched every single game of rugby league for like 15 straight years, but specifically on the channel here, every single game for like 5 to 10 years. And then, yeah, I've just been watching it since I was young, mate. You know, I've always watched rugby league. I've been from the Gold Coast. I used to go to every single game for my team, and even go to a lot of games for other teams as well, and whatnot. Even fly down to Sydney or Melbourne and stuff and check it out. I just love the game of rugby league, mate. I'm passionate about it. John Tipu says, 50-50 doesn't matter if you play well week in, week out. What do you mean? What? 50-50 doesn't matter if you play well week in, week out? I don't know what you mean. Zaxxas, did the Titans win the penalty count 8-2? Yes, tell me which penalties were incorrect. Yes, in the second half, I'm pretty certain they did. What is your point? Which penalties were incorrect? Because this is just like when the New South Wales fans complained. Second half's about to start here. This is like when New South Wales fans tried to complain about the penalty count in Game 2. Tell me which penalties were incorrect if you are leaning towards saying that the referees are being biased towards the Titans in that situation. Because as we spoke about yesterday, no one complained about it. The only time people are now complaining about it and saying that the Titans had this penalty count of 8-2 is because of the situation where Panthers fans are now trying to say, well, we had a bad penalty count, so that must mean that we were actually the ones getting robbed. And it's like, well, no, unless you can tell me which penalties were incorrect there, because at the end of the day, a penalty count on its numbers, mathematically, looking at the numbers itself, does not mean anything. It just means one team was ill-disciplined, one team wasn't ill-disciplined. But also, if you would like to prove us wrong in regards to that, and you would like to say that the calls were incorrect, well then please tell me which calls of the 8-2 penalty count were incorrect. The floor is open. The floor is open, because I can tell you 4 specific instances against the Titans that I can criticise. And I can tell you them individually, all 4 of them. All 4 of them. So I can do that. So if you think that the penalty count of 8-2 is unjust, please debate me. All right, so second half has started here. The Tigers will kick it off, and the Bulldogs will bring this ball out of the 13. It is 20-4 to the Tigers with 40 minutes to go here. Obviously, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. KTT says Tigers trainers should get out there and charge down Matt Burton. Yes, he should. Lagan says the Phil Subby situation yesterday was straight up vomiting from Casey Badger. Like, the guy literally Brian Totter literally comes over and clobbers him across the cheeks. Across the cheeks. And she goes, oh, the previous play's been cleared. You're an idiot. Go on your Case. Yeah, you're good, Case. You're good. So Tigers will grab this ball now at the 20. And first tackle, step from Dream Buller. There was a slip over from the Dogs, and he'll get this ball out of the 33. Michael says the trainer was in the wrong end of discussion. Yeah, absolutely, but we're kind of talking about a wide range of issues rather than just the trainer at this point. Okay, so all I'm going to say about yesterday is absolutely no one is happy the Panthers won that. Only Panthers fans, and that says something. I think a lot of Panthers fans are actually pretty realistic as well. There are some idiotic Panthers fans, but there are definitely some realistic Panthers fans. Like, for example, Panthers since 2003, who just commented here. You know, like at the end of the day, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand a lot of what happened yesterday. And he went to HIA, absolutely. So fit tackle here for the Tigers, and they will get this ball at the 48 at Big Cottery Sow off to Adam Dewey. And Dewey will kick this ball into the corner where the Dogs pick it up at the 10 through Jacob Kiraz, and Kiraz brings it out to the 20 on first tackle. No, he gets the offload away after Bronson Terry, and then Jethro Rinakama brings it out to the 20. First tackle. And now second, Bronson Terry out to the 30. And I always look at the numbers in the back. I was about to say Connor Tracy brings out to the 35, but no, it is Jacob Kiraz. It's funny when you do commentary and whatnot, you do just align players to numbers. So a lot of the time you can get caught up in regards to what player because normally Connor Tracy's wearing the ones. Your brain automatically just goes to say Connor Tracy as a fullback. Got to order some dog on after this stream. Oh well, good luck, mate. Good luck. Dog doesn't taste good. Does not taste good. So it's going to be Tigers who bring this ball back from the 10 here. Jarrell Skelton. He's been safe under the high ball today. He brings it to the 15 first tackle. The Real Keefy with the $10 redo donation. Get around your Real Keefy. Says, I can forgive the on-field ref for missing stuff, but not the bunker. I always say this. Firstly, thank you for the donation. But I always say this. The bunker has no excuse. The on-field referee is a difficult job. I will always maintain the on-field referee is a difficult job to get all the rules correct and to have eyes everywhere. I do not believe the touchy has a difficult job, but the on-field ref definitely does. The bunker has no excuses. You have all these angles. You have all the time in the world. You can 40-20 attempt here. Oh, nearly went out, but the Dogs will knock it back in around the 3. And Jacob Kiraz brings it out now to the 13. You have all these angles. You have more angles than you say that the fans are able to watch. So when it's on Fox and whatnot, the Dogs are away here. Matty Burton to the 30, the 35 to 40, the 45 to 50. And good tackle here by Jareen Buller. He'll take him down to the 35. Okay tackle. Actually, no, he didn't even make the tackle. He didn't even make the tackle. Oh, he's lost the ball. Oh, he lost the ball at the end of all that. So now Tigers get the ball to 15. It was a great run until otherwise. But yeah, the point that I'm making about the bunker is that they always use this excuse. They go, we at the NRL in the bunker are able to see more camera angles than you guys are in the fans. As in, like, the Fox and whatnot doesn't show every angle. Okay, my answer to that is why? Why? That just sounds like an excuse to me. So you can see other angles that we can't, and that's why you made a call that went against everybody else. Well, why don't you just show us the angles? It makes no sense to me. Why don't you just show us that? It seems like an excuse. It is an excuse. It doesn't seem like an excuse. It is an excuse. Dream Bully here at the 45. And that's going to be a penalty here to the Tigers. Huge penalty here to the Tigers at the 45. John says, consistency, complete your set 90-95% and defend your line, you make your own luck or errors. Yes, not in this game necessarily with how much wet weather there is. It is very, very wet and it is very muddy and very difficult playing conditions. But on a normal game, I would agree with you, John. In a game like this, 75% is a minimum rather than 80%, and anything above 80% is actually quite spectacular in a wet weather game like this. It's pouring down rain, it's very muddy. If you're able to hold the ball, it's impressive. But at the very least, it's not as windy as it was in Wollongong yesterday, so at least they're able to kick the ball over the sideline, unlike the Canberra Raiders against the Dragons. So the Tigers now, they'll be at the 38. First tackle. And they'll roll it back to Api Psychotomy South, then to Royce Hunt. And Royce Hunt brings it to the 30 on second tackle. If the Tigers score here, it'd be massive. Massive. Ibrahim says, I want to know why players don't have names on their backs. Most sports have players' names on their back, just not the NRL. Maybe make a video about it. The answer to that is that it's been put into a question. Third tackle at the 25. The answer to that is they don't want to individualize the sport. The NBA is very individualized. LeBron James is, a lot of... You could make it out. 1 second. Jerome Luai kicks his ball. Knock on there for the Dogs. And it's going to be Tigers' ball at the 20. Yeah, it's not a charge down. You can't argue that's a charge down. He's trying to grab that ball. You don't challenge that, Stephen Crichton. Don't challenge that. Don't challenge that. It's going to be a knock on here. No, this is wrong, Crichton. You know that he's not trying. You know that he's not charging this ball down. He is trying to he's trying to catch this ball. Okay, so I just want to look at this challenge and I'll reply to that in a second. But this is definitely going to be a knock on against the Dogs. Has to be. So he kicks this through here, Luai. And he's clearly trying to touch that. Crichton, why are you challenging this, bro? Why on earth are you challenging that, Stephen Crichton? That's really poor captaincy. That is really poor captaincy. Well, he's pulling it in towards his own body. You know this is a knock-on here, Bunker. You know this is a knock-on here, Bunker. Crichton, there, touches his hand. You know that's a knock-on. He's pulling it into his body, which is facing towards the opposition goal line. You know that's a knock-on, Bunker. Yep. Hits his body, does not negate it. Correct. Thank you, Bunker, for getting the correct call. I was really worried they were going to get that incorrect just then. But it hits his hand, it goes forward, hits his body, doesn't negate the fact that it's a knock-on because it's coming off of his hand forward. So it will be unsuccessful there from the Bulldogs, and that was a really poor challenge there from Stephen Crichton. That's not good captaincy. It's like ego that he challenged that because he would have known 100% that was a knock-on. But anyway, Ibrahim, so you look at the NBA, you look at the NFL, you look at hockey, and you look at baseball. The sport is very individualised, and I'm a fan, and I'm here for the fact of players' names on backs. I back it in. I'm just giving you the opposite reasoning for it, is that guys like Latrell Mitchell will think and become bigger than the club based off of the fact that they're getting all these jersey sales. You can see the clear and defined. There's a lot of there's a lot of problems that can come with it in a game, in a sport that doesn't have as much of a global reach in rugby league compared to the NFL, the NBA, or baseball, and all that type of stuff. And you don't want guys like, and not necessarily having a shot at Trell here, third tackle of the Tigers, the 15, but using him as an example. You don't want guys like Trell or Munster or Nathan Clear and whatnot having this massive ego where they feel like they are bigger than the club based off how many jersey sales they're getting, which they're going to get a part of potentially, depending on how it goes. But there is a few issues that need to be kind of discussed in regards to it, and that's why Gus Gould's not a fan of it. So Apisai Koroisau to Adam Dewey Luai, fit tackle, they're going to get locked down here. Lachlan Galvin, she's slapped him up. Lachlan Galvin locks down Luai, fit tackle, and it's going to be Bulldogs ball here at the 10. Did I make that understandable? I felt like that might have got a bit of a roundabout, but I hope I made that understandable. Ball collect says the Bulldogs going back on fraud alert with a loss here to the Tigers, or would he give benefit of the doubt with the rain? No, I think we definitely put him back on fraud alert on the basis that the Tigers are a bottom 4 team. And also that this is not uncommon for how the Bulldogs have played across the last 2 months, outside of last week and the Panthers game. Penalty to the Dogs at the 20. But I will reinstate and will say again, this game is not over yet. But based off of last week and the Panthers game, the Dogs have been good. Outside of that, in the last 2 months, they've not been good, the Dogs. So yes, we would be putting them back on fraud if they lose this, but there's still time to go. Sean says, we get the camera angles filmed on a potato and the bunker get 8K. Correct. You might be joking, but you're correct. You're spot on. We get the damn well scrub of it, and they get the perfect of it, apparently. But I also don't even necessarily believe that. I think that they're full of it. I think it's just an excuse to fill a narrative. I do not think that there are players... I definitely know the players don't get into it. I don't think that there is rigging, but I do think there is narrative and agenda pushing. Lisiati says, is that the score? Correct. Yeah, it is the score. Third tackle over the Dogs to the 40, and they give it off here to Bronson Seri. And Seri is going to be 35 metres out, 4th tackle. It is real. It is real. John says the Tigers are not doing the Warriors any favours for next week. Up the Tigers. Well, it's a penalty here to the Dogs. They don't take the quick tap. I don't think this has anything to do with next week. I think the Warriors absolutely need a huge win. And the Dogs obviously are in a bit of a weird patch of their season. Hugger says that the Tigers still a check. No. No, brother. No, brother. No. You want to talk mathematically? Sure. But mathematically, the Rabbitohs can make the top 8. No. It's just not happening, my man. Even with a win here, that'd be 3 wins out of the 8, and there's only 5 games to go after this. So let's be real. So right hand side, Josh Curran now will get his ball to the 10, third tackle. 30 minutes to go of the game here, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. Don't forget we've got Sharks versus Cowboys after this, and another knock on. Another knock on here. Another knock on here, baby. We got a knock on from the Doggies. Josh Curran. Sean says second half comeback, thank you. We're going to have to do better than that one. But 30 minutes to go. Olivia says, is it raining in Cronulla too? Well, I'd assume so, Olivia. But you're asking someone who's in Vietnam right now. Lagan says 2 wins out of the 8 with a bye. Lagan, don't do this. Don't make me roast that comment, please. Don't make me roast that comment, please. Lagan, don't do it to me. You know, don't do it to me. The police, because police. It's a silly encouragement of people. Stop it, Lagan. Don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. Lizzie says plenty of time. There is plenty of time here, but Bulldogs aren't known to play well in the wet weather. So 3rd tackle here at the 25. And knock on from the Tigers. So Billy may kick out. 0 tackle at 25. Scott Walker says, watching the Tigers play always raises my blood pressure. Go the Tigers. I know the feeling. Well, the Tigers are up by 16. They're fine right now, but still a long way to go. Tackle Herbal and Hale, Blaze. Yeah, to deal with you encouraging a Tigers top 8 is ridiculous. You know better. 2nd tackle here at the 18. And Bailey Hayward gets it. Bailey Hayward, gives it out to Kurt Mann. Then Lachlan Galvin. Billy kick out at 10. 3rd tackle. 2 wins out of the 8 with a bye. It's just insane work, mate. It's insane work. Lachlan Galvin and Stephen Crichton. Crichton gives it off here to Kiraz. I think he scored. He has scored a try. Jacob Kiraz. 12-point game. Tigers, you better hold out here, otherwise you're going to be back here with the melts at the bottom. If you win this game, you avoid the spoon, you lose this game. And you're still there with the Rabbitohs, you're still there with the Titans, you're still there with the Knights. You don't run away from us. You'll stay with us. Come here. Come back home. Come on, Tiger. Come back home. 20-8, kid, come. Lachlan Galvin to Crichton to Kiraz, and Kiraz just rolls over the line there. I couldn't see the ball, that's why I didn't want to go crazy too early. Yeah, he's just sliding there. You can't... Oh. Yeah, no, he gets that. Yeah, it's definitely. He slides across there, so the dog is coming back. Woof, woof. Get the woof, woof going. Who's woofing? Who is woofing? Lagan says, I can't tell who's fullback this game. Kiraz. Alright, so Crichton here to go over the conversion. He missed his first one. Lisiati says, doesn't sound good for the Tigers. 27 minutes to go. Raiders fans, you're safe as all houses. You are safe to be staying in first position this week. The Dogs are not scoring 36 points to 20. If they did that, Tigers would be... Everyone would be laughing. But... Yeah, look, you're going to be staying in first place this week, Raiders, but the Dogs are probably... Well, they're still down by 12 points. But they have a chance of equalising. Here we come. Yeah, here we come, but, you still got to be concerned about this game. But, here we come, sure. Sure, you still got to be a bit concerned about what we've seen today. Stephen Crichton will miss the kick. Oh, boy. He's missed the kick, and it stays a 12-point game. That's 2 kicks and 2 misses for Stephen Crichton. Was Cameron Munster kicking for the Dogs today, or what? I've got Cameron Munster out here. I can say switching attack and defense. Do you know a lot of teams and a lot of players do that even normally? Do you know that, Lagan? Kirai's definitely playing a fullback. Lagan says a serious take the 2 points and run situation for us. A serious... Oh, okay, I get what you mean now. A serious take the 2 points and run situation for us. Absolutely, Lagan. Absolutely. It would be really funny, though, if Galvin scored the winner. It would be really funny if Galvin found a way to score the winner on the siren. That would be really funny. Oh, a bit of a head clash with Buller and I think it might be Fainu. Bit of an old head clash there. All right. So it is the Dogs get the ball through Renari Tuala. They get it off to... Samuel Hughes, and he will be at the 13. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm still here. Give me 1 second. All right, we're back. Are we back on? Yeah, okay, sweet. 3rd tackle of the Dogs, and they are at the 20. Lagan says, like Galvin's game-winning pass versus the Dragons. Yeah, but you didn't even deserve to win that game, but you did win it. 5th tackle of the Dogs. If you come back here to be, it would be... I don't think that... Like the Tigers did enough to be in the lead 20-0. It was great. But also, if the Dogs come back and win this game, the Tigers have also made a lot of mistakes and the errors from both teams. I can say whoever wins this game probably deserves to win this game. The Dragons versus Dogs game, you guys just clearly didn't deserve to win the game, but because the Dragons are the Dragons and the Dogs found a way, they just found a way. In my personal opinion, I said to you, take the 2 points and run, forget the game happened, because I thought the Dragons were the better team. Just like I thought the Titans were the better team yesterday, and I think that the Warriors were the better team on Friday against the Dolphins, but that just doesn't always mean that the better team wins. Zach says, how are we? Well, we are. We definitely are, Zach. That's what I'm thinking. Don said, I don't think there's enough time. What? There's 26 minutes to go, Don, and it's a 12-point game. There's 2 tries in it. It's a 26 minutes to go, Don. There could be 2 tries in it with 2 minutes to go and there's still enough time. There's 26 minutes to go, Don. So the Dogs will grab this ball here at the 5 to Jacob Kiraz. Hey, look, he's playing fullback lagging, and he's going to bring this ball out here to the 20. First tackle. No, I meant it's like, imagine if Galvin did that today. It would be funny to see him actually score the try. Kiraz not happy about something here on the tackle. Not happy about something. And they're going to bring this ball out here to the 18 through Jethro Rinikama. The best case scenario today would actually be... By the way, Storm fans, I know there's not many of you, but like Storm fans, you are desperate to see the Tigers hold this game out. Because it's either Amy Park first week or Amy Park second week. Prelim, depending. Anthony says, it sucks how they're not showing this on free-to-wear. Well, this is NRL, though. They only play the 4 p.m. game on free-to-wear all the time. It's not a surprise. This is the early game. The early game's never played. The Sharks-Cowboys will be on free-to-wear. That's how it's been for ever. The 4 p.m. game is always on free-to-wear. There is no games on Saturday on free-to-wear. There is the 8 p.m. game on Friday on free-to-wear. Dogs are going to jump in. Oh, penalty Tigers. He wasn't square. It was not square. Penalty Tigers. Huge. Thursday gets the free-to-wear. Friday, 8 p.m. free-to-wear. No free-to-wear Saturday. And then the 4 p.m. Sunday, free-to-wear. That's how it's always been. But at least you get to join in here. Olivia says, stop yapping and play the ball. Which one? First tackle now for the Tigers at the 40. Zach says, watching my North at the minute. We're up 4 on the Saints. See how long that lasts. Yeah, well, the old Saints had a pretty good win last week. They had a pretty good win last week. Oh, mate, it's the third quarter. Gee whiz. So second tackle here for the Tigers. And they'll be at the 30. John said, if the Tigers score, it's over. No, it's not. But if the Dogs score again, it's game on. Correct with that one, but no. Like, there's still 24 minutes. Guys, it's 24 minutes. We're not even 3 quarters into the game yet. Guys, there's so long to go in this game. Just a reminder, yesterday, the Titans, they were down like 24-0 with 20 minutes to go, or 25 minutes to go. You know what I mean? Like, and now they give the Sugatrova, gives it off here for the Tigers. They're 10 metres out. He's going to slide over the sideline. No, he's not. Wow, well done for him not going over the sideline. Stop it, Crichton. Stop whinging. You know he's not over the sideline. Jerome Luai, grubber through. Nice. Grubber, difficult take. Kick out. Kick that dead ball dead. It's going to be a dropout, but I can't believe how long it took kick out to slap that ball dead just then. I can't believe he doesn't go over the sideline here. Yeah, Brent Naden is the one who stopped him from going to the sideline. Really well done there. Smart play. Don't know how legal it is, but I also don't know if you can... I don't know what you could do about that, really, because he just stands on the sideline to prevent him going over the sideline, but he was already there, so I think it's legal. But, like, you could question it. Oh, that's going to go towards the sideline, and... Woohoo! Ball stays in. Nearly goes out. Brent Naden probably just put his foot down just to stop it. Well, comment in the chat. Who are you going for? You getting around the Dogs or you getting around the Tigers here? Tigers, second tackle at the 45 after the dropout. Yikes. Comment who you think wins from here. Right now in the poll, it's 51% of the Bulldogs and 49% of the Tigers. We've got a few Tigers fans coming around. Hey, vote in the poll. Tigers now, third tackle. Appy Connery Sal. That should be a 6 again. It is. It is a 6 again. Kurt Mann, that was silly. That was very, very silly from Kurt Mann. All right, Tigers now at the 40. Lisiati Tofoki getting around the Tigers. Ball collector says, go the Dogs. And penalty to the Tigers. Oh, Biffo, someone throw an uppercut, you cats. Someone throw slip him. Slip. Come on. Oh, no, Maxi, I'm backing Maxi King, and it's my boy. I got to back in Maxi King there, but the Tigers, Alex Seyfarth threw a ball at Max King's face. Brent Naden was faking, having a crack at Lachlan Galvin there. So Seyfarth throws the ball at Max King's face. It was a penalty. Max King actually slapped him in the back of the head. Oh, he threw the ball in his face. I got to back in my boy Maxi King there, though. Give him an uppercut, eh? You know, a little bit of something with an elbow. That's what we're talking about. But there was no handbags thrown. There definitely is a penalty against Max King for the slap across the back of the head. Throwing the ball in his nose, though. Throw a head kick. I'm thinking throw a headbutt to the throat. That's what I'm thinking. Really kick it up a notch. You know, we see the pushing, we see the shoving. We don't see the punches. I want them to take a step past that. No fight. Pushing and shoving. Punching on. Headbutt to the throat. Let's skip the punching on. Just go from the pushing and shoving to the headbutt to the throat. That's what I'm thinking. Really kick it up a notch. Justin says, big Dewey fan. Go Tigers. Well, penalties going against Seyfarth for throwing the ball. Why, though? Max King did slap him across the back of the head beforehand to encourage that. I don't understand why that's a penalty against the Tigers now. I would disagree with that. I've got to disagree with that being a penalty against the Tigers. Max King slaps him over the back of the head. Like, he's pushing off him there, and Max King's not happy that he rolls around with his arm. They called the penalty against the Dogs for impacting the ball, but Max King slaps him over the back of the head, which then encourages Alex Seyfarth to throw the ball in his face. Sure, don't do that, but at the end of the day, the original foul would come from the slap of the back of the head from Max King. So why are you penalising the Tigers? Realistically, it should just be the Bulldogs penalty. That should be the penalty of the Tigers. Anyway, it's a penalty of the Dogs now. I've got to really disagree with the call there. I don't know how you can switch that around. So it's going to be a penalty here against Alex Seyfarth with a shoulder to the head. I don't know if it's enough to be a bin, but it's definitely a penalty. This is going to be a bin. Oh, yeah? This is going to be a bin, is it? Why did Brian To'o not get binned? Seyfarth is going to get binned here. I think this is really, really unfortunate for the Tigers because it shouldn't have been a penalty. Yeah, he's going to the bin. This is the correct call based off of this. So Seyfarth will go off for the next 10 minutes. 20 minutes to go of the game, guys. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe. This is the correct call based off this. Why is Brian To'o not binned yesterday against the Titans? But also, secondly, I don't think the Bulldogs should have had the ball because the Tigers should have received the penalty at the 40 like they were justified. Liziati says a slap is a slap. Correct, but a slap is what initiated the aggression from both the players. A slap is what initiated it. And also, Max King was the one who gave away the penalty. And then they changed it because of the ball throw at the head. And it's like, sure, and I'm backing my boy Maxi King because I love him and I know him, but I disagree with that. But then I agree with this call, but it probably shouldn't have been there, is my opinion. So second tackle now for the Dogs at the 8. Dad says, enjoy this comeback, fellas. I said the Dogs could come back when they were down 20-0. So 20 minutes to go of the game, 12 points of difference, and Lachlan Galvin taken down to the 8. Let's see if they can hold on to the ball and score. Third tackle. 7 metres out. Out to Matt Burton. Burton across. And Sam Hughes will be taken down 5 metres out. 4th tackle. Seyfarth was whacking Max King in the head in the tackle to prompt the King slap. No, that's not what prompted the King slap. What prompted the King slap was him twisting his arm, and then he obviously lost the ball from it. Max King took exception to him twisting his arm as he was rolling around. If you go back and you'll see what I mean. Again, we've moved past it anyway. Matt Burton out of the left-hand side, to Ridikama at the 10, flicks it back, and that's going to be a drop ball from Vladimir kick out. He flicks it back again. Still fit tackle. Bailey Hayward at the 25. He gets it across. Kurtman and Lachlan Galvin. Lachlan Galvin kicks his ball into the corner. Here's a chance, chasing it through for the Tigers. It's going to be a drop out. He slides into the end goal. Brent Naden and a drop out. What a game we've got going on now. Game on. Game on. Liziati says, retaliation is the ref's call. Makes sense on ref. I personally disagree. But, I think it is open to interpretation. But I personally would disagree. Especially considering the play that got penalised was the play with the initial contact from Max King slapping him across the back of the head. Anyway, Bulldogs now with the ball at 20. Jake Kiraz. And he'll be taken down at the 21st tackle. Dream Baller has passed his HIA, so he'll be back any moment now. And now you've got Lachlan Galvin, gives it off to Sam Hughes, and Sam Hughes offloads it out the back to Galvin. Galvin then gives it off to Burton. Burton to William Kickow. 2-on-2 out here, and Bronson Cherry pushes off one, but he'll be taken down to the 15 now. No, 8-8 out. Second tackle, Dream Bull up past HIA, like I said. And Burton gives it off to Kurt Mann. Kurt Mann at the back into Lachlan Galvin. Galvin now gets it across here to Stephen Crichton. Crichton now hits the grass. Grassy grass. Tigers get the ball. Brett Naden comes in clutch. Brett Naden gets in clutch. Yeah, thank you, Jay, for sharing the link. We are on for the Sharks versus the Cowboys after this, but the Tigers will knock it on, and it's going to be Bulldogs ball here at the 25. Oh, it's a penalty to the Tigers. They've called penalty to the Tigers. Inu says, I'm a Panthers fan, but tip of the Tigers to win from Papua New Guinea. We get around here in Papua New Guinea. Looking forward to you guys coming to the competition in 2028. That's only 3 years or two seasons away after this. It's only 2 seasons away. 2027, the Perth Bears come in. 2028, Papua New Guinea come in. And then I think 2030 or 2031 is when the second New Zealand team will come in. Maybe even 2032. Johnson's hunting tough Tigers. Well, they'll get a penalty here, which is huge. 25 minutes to go. 12-point game. Still down a man, though. Seyfarth still got 7 minutes left in the bin. Dasman says Starfish is an absolute grub. I'm not a big fan of Seyfarth, and this is the thing. I'm not like defending him individually, but I'm just somewhat defending the situation. So first tackle here for the Tigers, and Terrell May is going to roll this ball back in at the 40 to Appy Cottery-Sow, then to Dewey, then off to Alex Twell, and Twell's going to be at the 42nd tackle. Livy says, what's for dinner/lunch today? I don't know. I might go out and... I'm going to go out to a restaurant tonight and grab something here in Ho Chi Minh. I'll go out to a restaurant and grab something beautiful. Suggest something, Olivia. Suggest something. So out to Adam Dewey, then he gets it off to Royce Hunt, and he's going to be at the 40 on the 4 tackle. No, sorry, it was Tony Suka. I mean, Sonia Toro for at the 35. Leftovers. No, Jay. No, thank you. I'm going to heavily pass on that option there, and I will call you a muppet. So Dewey will kick this ball into the corner, but it will be knocked back from Kiraz. It goes backwards, straight through the hands and backwards. He's lucky. Oh, they're going to call knock on. They don't have a challenge either. Oh, I don't know if I agree with this call either. Kiraz. Oh, man. You can't... Like, they do usually call stuff like this and knock on, which might be classed as consistent, but, like, it comes down through the hands. He does touch it, and it goes through the legs, and it's like, if it's going back through the legs, you're probably saying it's knocked back. But anyway, I'm not too upset with the call, and the Bulldogs don't have a challenge anyway, and they probably would have lent with the on-field call anyway, but 50-50 that call. Anyway, so the Tigers now 15 metres out. They have a chance to... If they score now... Oh, he's lost the ball on first tackle. Tell him, mate, no, this is going to be a penalty for a high tackle. There may be a bin here against Crichton. There's a bit of a slap and tickle happening. Give someone slapping with an uppercut, you cats. Get someone throw an uppercut. Get some Muay Thai going. I'll teach you. Taylor May, he will... Oh, you can't... There is mitigation there. Like, he is halfway down. If he's not slipping over, Crichton's not hitting the head. He's hitting, like, just underneath the pecs. Like, you can't bin him for this. Oh, but it is direct shoulder contact to the face. Vonnie Hunter says, Dogs versus ref. No, disagree. You just received a call that ultimately ended up getting Seyfarth binned, and the Seyfarth binning was correct, but the call beforehand I would disagree with. No, this is not a referee's problem here. This is a high tackle. It's just unfortunately he's slipping over. Yeah, a lot of mitigation. Thank you. That is a correct call. There's a lot of mitigation, and he's not going to be binned, but it is absolutely a penalty for high contact. It's unfortunate against Crichton, because he is slipping down, and that's what mitigation means, for people who aren't aware. Mitigation means the context behind it. He is slipping over. It is direct shoulder contact to the face, but he is halfway down. So it is a penalty. Johnson's pretty much Biff. You can see, you can feel, there's a lot of feeling in this game, dude. They're going to go for the 2 here, the Tigers. Okay. I agree with it normally. There's been a lot of missed kicks here today from both teams with this wet weather conditions. I would agree with it normally. I think this is probably the right call because they should be able to at least kick it out dead anyway. Again, I'm okay with that just being a penalty and not a bin due to mitigation. Michael says, Spark, a joint no warning sign. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I think the Bulldogs and Tigers are going to have a bit of an enhanced rivalry for a few years, to be honest with you. You can feel there's a lot of it in it. You just need both teams to be half decent. Bulldogs will be will be decent. You just need to hope that the Tigers are going to be half decent for the next couple of years and bring themselves up to make it actually competitive battles around the 8. Should have went for a field goal. Okay, thank you, Brocky, for your opinion. Going to have to pass on that opinion, personally. But Jay Hayes, he'll back you in. He loves a good field goal. Don't forget, Sharks-Cowboys right after this one, guys. And that'll be the final game of the weekend. And then after that finishes, we've only got 5 rounds to go of the regular season. Top 8 battle still on fire. The top of the table, first place battle is still on fire. The top 4 battle is still on fire. And the wooden spoon, there's about 7 teams that can still win it. Everyone is still in play. Everyone is still in play. But Adam Dewey here to try and take it to a 14-point lead. Someone just get the tray to run by. Bulldogs, get your tray to run by him. Come on, Bulldogs, get your tray to run by him. And Dewey will get the kick over the black dots, but it's a 14-point game. 22 points to 8 with 15 minutes to go. Still about 3 minutes left in the bin. And that's another reason why the Tigers definitely should have been going for the 2 to slow down the play. Slow down the time. Oh. Who's out for the rest of the afternoon? Are they saying Category 1 against Talon May? Who are they saying? It can't be Talon May. That was too quick. Who have they just said is ruled out for the afternoon? Might be an honest mistake. It would have been an honest mistake, Daz, mate. Yeah. Would have been an honest mistake if the Dogs trainer ran by just then. John says, mate, what an absolutely awesome season so far. It's incredible, John. You know, when I saw a comment on Instagram, I said that Talon May has been ruled out. It wasn't Category 1. It was him. So Talon May is out for the rest of the game. Benji's got blowing up about it, but at the end of the day, there was mitigation. It was the correct call to not sin bin him, but a penalty, absolutely. Safe fast, still 3 minutes and 20 seconds left of the bin. Second tackle for the Tigers at their 10. But that's exactly right, John. But I saw a comment on Instagram saying, you know, because of the lacking of quality in the teams, and it's like I can see the valuable point behind people saying the quality hasn't necessarily been unbelievable, but ultimately the competition has been spectacular. Every single team is still in play in round 22/round 23 for avoiding whatever part they are on the table, whether it be spoon, whether it be top 8, whether it be just missing the 8, whether it be getting into the top 4, or winning the minor premiership, and also getting a home final in week 1. This season is well and truly rocking. And you go back to, I think it was 2018 or 2017, where, Dogs getting offload away, and Renakama will have the ball at the 48. They're very lucky they didn't drop that ball. First tackle here for the Dogs. And they're in a relative attacking opportunity if they can make a few metres here. Second tackle here at the 40. You go back to 2018, 2017, and first place to 8th place was separated by 2 points at the end of the season. But the bottom 8 was not competitive at all. And it was like a 6-point, 8-point gap between the top 8 and the bottom 8. And the bottom 8 was just dead. But, Doggies knock it on. Kurt Mann at 28. Hurton at the 28. Shannon says, wow, what a weekend, man. Great weekend of rugby league. Roosters Manly was a bit dead. Raiders Dragons was good. Titans Panthers was the best game of the weekend. This is a fun game to watch between the Tigers and Dogs. Rabbitohs Broncos was massively dead, but at least it was a crazy scoreline. The Eel Storm was great, and the Warriors Dolphins was great. Yeah, we've had a fantastic week in rugby league, man. So 22-8, Tigers will get the ball. Again, you're going to see a lot of knock-ons here. You have so far today. It's because of this wet weather. Dogs nearly won the feed, but it's going to be a penalty to the Tigers at the 30. Can't strike first. So penalty to the Tigers. And next week, we've got some big games too. Storm versus Broncos is absolutely massive on Thursday. Knights Panthers is big for the Knights to avoid the spoon. Panthers to obviously jump into the top 4. They will jump into the top 4 with a win. Obviously, the Warriors still to play. Raiders versus Manly is a massive game. Raiders obviously keeping their first spot. They need to win to keep their first spot over the Storm or the Dogs. And Manly, this is like not last chance, but it's very close to last chance season for them. Dragons, Sharks. Dragons are kind of done, but the Sharks are desperate to keep their top 8 spot, and that's a rivalry game. Dolphins, Roosters is huge. 7th versus 9th. That is a massive game for that top 8. Bulldogs, Warriors. You can't ask for much bigger in 3rd versus 4th. And then you got the Titans, Rabbitohs. It's 16th versus 17th, and whoever loses goes into the last spot. Whoever wins gets out of it. And then the Eels, Cowboys is a bit of a dead game. But outside of that, 6 of the 8 games next week are belters. 6 of the 8 games next week are absolutely belters. So Tigers here, 4th tackle. They're going to be at the 35 on the Bulldogs side of the field. Game's not over yet, but it's starting to tick away here for the Dogs. It'll be 5th tackle, 28 metres out for the Tigers. That's a bad play, the ball. Well, they didn't call it. Luai gives it out to Dream Buller. He could get through. 7. Crichton could be away here. The 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40. No, Crichton, what are you doing, dude? No, Crichton. He's had a rough one, in my opinion. He's had some good plays on the attack, but he's thrown the ball over the sideline with an offload. That is a horror show from Stephen Crichton, dude. That is a horror show from Stephen Crichton. He's had a couple of big moments in this game with try assists, but he's also made a couple of mistakes with that high tackle just before that gave the 2 points to the Tigers. And then he does this play here where he tries to offload it to Galvin. Galvin had Dream Buller right underneath him, so he shouldn't even be trying to offload it to him. Just take the tackle at the 50. You know, there's still time for you. But, yeah, Appy Cottery with a good chase there. And the ex-Panthers players there all involved. You had Cottery there, you had Luai there, and you also had Stephen Crichton. Brocky Sports, the touchy ain't playing. You are correct. You are correct. So Tigers now at the 40. 10 minutes to go here of the game. Hit that like button and subscribe. We got the Sharks Cowboys right after this. First tackle. Appy Cottery out to Terrell May. Terrell May underneath here to Alex Twell. And Twell's going to be at the 35-second tackle. The Aussie Labs has good commentary focus. How is the weather still raining? How is the weather still raining? Oh, you're asking how is the weather and then asking still raining. It's very muddy. It's very slippery. I can't see the rain, so I don't think it's raining right now, but it has been raining throughout the game and it is a very muddy field. The CommBank is just torn up with mud right now. Fourth tackle, 22 metres out, 9:47 to go here the game. Appreciate you saying good commentary though, man. We're here for every single game and we get around it, man. We're passionate about rugby league. Safepath gives it off to Alex Twell and Twell's going to be fit tackle. If the Tigers can score right now, it will probably be game over. That'll be over a 3-score game in wet weather. Oh, Tigers short ball. Try top of the Tigers. That's very smart from Samwala Fayunu. And if they get this kick, it's game over, baby. Game over, baby. If the Tigers get this conversion, but 3 converted tries either way, I think this game is done. The Tigers are going to pull off a big upset here. In the Galvin return game, the Tigers are going to say, screw you, Lockie. Welcome back to West Tigerville. Welcome back. The Tigers looking like they're going to give the big helping hand to the Storm, big helping hand to the Raiders. And the Bulldogs, they are going to... I thought that was a forward pass. I think that's a bad call. Yeah, Cooper Cronk's talking about too. That probably was a forward pass there from Jerome Luai, but they're not going to call it. That is huge there for the West Tigers. And they will lead 26-8 with 8.5 minutes to go here of the game. 8 minutes and a half to go here of the game. And you've got to remember, like, the Tigers went down a man for 10 minutes between the 23rd minute and 13th minute. And yet the Tigers were able to put 2 points on the board in that time frame. And, yeah, Zach says, here we don't come. Zach, you're a Storm fan. You should be very happy for this. The Storm will stay in second. The Bulldogs will stay in third. Raiders will stay in first. The Tigers, they will go from 14th into 12th and then just hope that the Sharks beat the Cowboys today. All right, so Adam Dewey here. It's not normally the hardest of kicks. Not normally the hardest. He should be getting this. He should be getting this kick, and that would be the game. Oh, I know I was mocking them. Fair enough. All right, so Dewey here. Dewey. If he gets this, it's game over, man. And Adam Dewey will make the kick, and that should be the game. 28-8 to the Tigers with 8 minutes to go here of the game. Entertainer says, if we get Panther Storm Grand Final, I'm done. Agree, but with that being said, yesterday proved there is a lot of faults in that Panthers team still. They still need to play the Bulldogs, Storm and Raiders to prove themselves to me. They play the Knights next week, which they should win. But at the end of the day, the Tigers weren't expected to win this game. The Titans weren't expected to make it close against the Panthers. The Warriors, with all their outs, weren't expected to make it close against the Dolphins, but they were arguably the better team, just couldn't find a way to win the game. The Storm have their faults for sure. Everyone has their faults, man. Like, this season is so open. And don't just sleep on the Raiders now. Like, the Raiders had their loss, and they were due a loss, and I did call that for about the last month, that the Dragons game was the tricky game for them. But, look, everyone's got their faults, man. I think that anybody in the top 8 could actually realistically win this comp. I think anybody in the top 8 could realistically win it if they're on form. Like, I think people are absolutely sleeping on a really boring and fraud alert team in the Sharks. who, if they click with their roster, they could still do it. The Dolphins have got plenty of attack in them, but I'm still not convinced. And then you've got the Broncos, who scored 60, but against a New South Wales Cup Rabbitohs team. Everyone's on here, dude. I'm saying everyone's on here. I still have the Raiders to probably go and do it. It just comes down to if they can bounce back from that loss yesterday. Because the Raiders have clearly been the better team throughout this season so far. Yesterday was a bit of a shocker, but the conditions were a big play, and also the Raiders needed a loss before the finals to really wake themselves up a bit. Raiders, Dogs, Warriors also solid all year until recent weeks. Why? The Raiders until this week had won like 11 games in a row. Don't let one game impact you. I understand the Raiders have been a little bit shaky, but at the end of the day, they're still down 18-12 at halftime to the Knights, and still end up winning that game. Huge hit there. Burton whacked to the 45, fit tackle. Don't let one game change your complete mindset on the Raiders. But I understand your concern. Jethro Ridicama can't get the ball in bounds, and it will be Tigers ball at 30. Very, very good says they're frauds. I do have to put you on fraud load here, Doggies fans. I do have to do it. It's fair. It's fair. I've got to chuck you here. Wow, wow. Fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert, fraud alert. Fraud alert. And we will be chucking them here for the time being. And I think I've just heard that the Tigers have received a penalty. Fraud alert. For the doggy, woof, woofs. They got off it last week. They're back on it. It wasn't a penalty for the Tigers, but it'll be their ball now at the 30. Entertainer says, I've got Raiders Storm Grand Final, Raiders win, but Raiders have been winning second halves while playing poor last 3 weeks. Sure, but they have been winning the games and we're still winning them well. It's not like they've been like the Dogs when they beat the Cowboys or like the Dogs when they beat the Dragons. It wasn't convincing, but they still won their games. Oh, that's a high tackle. No, third tackle here for the Tigers of the 40. I've still got the Raiders making the grand final, but again, I need to see them bounce back either next week or the week after. I need them to show, and this is what I said about the Dolphins when they were winning games 50 points against nobodies, absolutely nobodies, and the Dogs had all their origin plays out, so I would have classed that as a nobody at the time, contextually. But I said the same thing about the Dolphins. They've kind of still kept themselves around, but they did lose to the Sharks. They haven't really been beaten the big-time teams overall. And that Dogs game, again, was without all the origin players. So, yeah, I've got the same thing with the Raiders right now as I had for the Dolphins a couple of weeks ago. Zach says, when he comes in hard, he comes all in. What commentary? Are you talking about me? Did I say that? I don't know what that means. Dazmate said, it's all right. At least I haven't seen my team win 3 wooden spoons in a row. This is true, Dazmate. You haven't. But before that 3 wooden spoons in a row, the team who did win the wooden spoon was actually the Dogs. But I get your point. So third tackle now for the Dogs. 4 minutes for you to go here. And Billy Bombili gets the offload away to Bailey Hayward. And Max King will be at the 40. Oh, the broadcast said it. Fair enough. Ibrahim says that Bulldogs game really changed how Raiders play. They don't kickstart until the second half. Oh, Dogs flick it out to Naritawala, who knocks the ball on. And Tigers fans, get up and get loud. The Galvin return game, you will be the victors here. Jared says, hey Blaze, holy shit, what is this? What's been the best performance this week for you so far? I am going to say the Titans. You guys can debate me all you like, but I will say it was the Titans. But like, if you're going to go outside of that, you'd probably be looking towards. You'd have to still say like the Bronx scoring 60, but it was against the New South Wales Cup team. Tigers have had a good performance here today. A lot of errors, but that's what the weather's going to do to you. But the Tigers have been good to watch today. John says, thanks for the exciting informative commentary. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, John. Dabba says, what team do you hate the most? Well, it's got to be the Broncos, but when you commentate and do as much content as I do and watch every single game, it's like you don't really have the same hate as a lot of people will normally have, because I watch every game and I'll try and give you as my actual analytical opinion and whatnot. Whether you agree with it or not, I'm still trying to give you an honest opinion. So it will be the Broncos, but like at the end of the day, like I would prefer them to win than say a Storm or a Panthers or a Roosters, based on the fact that those teams win a lot, which kind of takes away the hate factor, because if you hate a team, you wouldn't want to see them win. But they would be the least team I'd like to see win outside of those 3 teams. And I'm not hating on the Storm, Panthers or Roosters. I'm just saying their success. I want to see another community happy for once. So Adam Dewey will kick that ball through. That's going to be a 7 tackle set here for the Dogs. Are very close. Wilder says, Dogs halves are so bad, that soulless Ranger Galvin is pitiful. Oh, jeez. Let's also remember that the Dogs are very well known for not playing well in wet weather footy, and this has been a very wet and very muddy game here in Sydney today. 0 tackle for the Dogs at the 30. In 10 minutes' time, we'll be live for the Sharks Cowboys as the last game of the round. Now, the Bulldogs run home as the Warriors at home, the Roosters away, the Storm away, the Panthers at home, and the Sharks at home. If you're a legit team, Dogs, you need to win 3 of those 5 games at a very minimum. At a very minimum, especially as a top 3 team, you should be expected to win 3 of those 5 games, but that is a very tough run home. You've made the top 4, but Panthers are coming. You're just lucky the Warriors are slipping as hard as they are at the moment. 3rd tackle now for the Tigers. They get the ball to the 25. That's a tough run home, though. Warriors, Roosters, Storm, Sharks, and Panthers, or Panthers and Sharks. That is top 9 teams all the way home. It's the best way to get ready for finals footy, though, Bulldogs fans. That was why the Broncos. Well, I'm a Gold Coast Titans fan, mate, so I'm from the Gold Coast. It's our local rivalry. Dogs chase it down, charge it down through Josh Curran. He's going to kick this ball through. This might be a try for the Dogs. This might be a try for the Dogs. Josh Curran, he's going to score. He's assumed. No, I think Dewey saved this. I think Dewey has saved this. I think this is a no try. I think this is a dropout. Dewey might have just saved a guaranteed try for the Dogs. Adam Dewey's claiming this, and I think he's correct. Dewey has done a lot of chasing here. He's got the advantage underneath, and he will... No, this is going to be a Josh Curran try. Yeah, that's a Josh Curran try. No, that's a Josh Curran try. Dewey got there first, but he didn't have the angle on his hand to get over the top of the ball. He touches the ball first, but it wasn't grounded by him. So this will be a try here to Josh Curran under the post. And this will be 28-12 with the kick to come. Like, the game's over with 1:34 to go of the game, but they're going to bring the score back in a little bit closer. Jared says, yeah, Titans over the past 2 weeks have played some of their best footy all year and then got screwed at the end. Yeah, not against the Warriors, but in yesterday's game for sure. Got screwed throughout the game, not necessarily just the end. But try time there for the Bulldogs, Josh Curran. And it is now it's going to be a 14-point game based off the kick being right in front. But again, 1.5 minutes to go is not enough time. Is Mitchell at the game? Hope he's going crazy about this result. This is needed after last week's performance. Yeah, Tigers fans absolutely should be happy with this. Especially with the context of Galvin and whatnot. Curran had a massive, massive advantage over Dewey. Dewey's done well here to even make it close, though. He's done well to even make it close. 1 minute, 22 seconds left here. So just to clarify again, Tigers will go up into 12th position, but that relies on the Cowboys losing to the Sharks. And the Bulldogs will finish off the round in 3rd place, and the Storm will keep their 2nd, and the Raiders will keep their 1st. And it's disappointing because this was a great chance here for the Dogs to go into 1st position. They just need to win the game by 16 points, and instead they're going to lose this game by 14 points. All right. The Tigers will kick this one down to about the 10. 1 minute 19 left, and Ari Tuala, he'll get up to Max King, and Max King brings it out to the 10. I think a big changing point of this game, because the Dogs had good momentum in the beginning part of the second half. The big changing point of this game was that Max King Alex Seyfarth situation, and I feel like the Tigers got riled up because of it, because they didn't concede when Seyfarth was off the field, and I don't necessarily agree with the original penalty against Seyfarth. I agree with the penalty in the end, though. Bulldogs here, they might be away. They get this ball left-hand side. Jethro Renakama, he's at the 40, the 45, 3rd tackle. 45 seconds to go here in the game. Yeah, you do still want to play out here for points differential, Bulldogs. You don't want to just end the game now. You do want to play out for points differential. Won't help you with the Storm, but it will help you with the Raiders if push comes to shove at the end of the year. But the Raiders still have a bye. Oh, that's a penalty. That's a penalty here to the Bulldogs. Take a quick tap. 19 seconds left here. Jacob Preston rolls it to the 24. Still been an exciting game regardless of the score. Tell us, what team do you think can have a surprise grand final win? Anyone in the top 8. Anyone in the top 8. Lachlan Galvin. No one's solidified themselves as a guaranteed premiership winner. Bronson Sherry, he's going to be 9 metres out, and that's going to be the game. 9 metres out, that is the game. The siren is gone. The Tigers with a massive win here in the Galvin return game. They will win 28-14 and get themselves out of the bottom 4. They can't make the top 8 this year, but they have just avoided the spoon, in my opinion, especially with a bye next week. That's huge. They'll be on 22 points after the completion of next week. which will absolutely be enough to avoid the wooden spoon. So their spoon battle is gone, and now for me, it's just between the Rabbitohs, Titans, Eels, Knights, and also the Cowboys. You could argue the Dragons too, but I highly, highly doubt it after their win yesterday. But guys, obviously, I'm going to jump across to the next game, which is the Cronulla Sharks up against the North Queensland Cowboys. Huge game for the Sharks as they're trying to keep themselves away from dropping out of the 8. With a win here, they would go 2 points clear of the Roosters and Manly, and also... so they go 4 points clear of the Roosters and Manly, and they would go 2 points clear of the Dolphins. They'd go equal with the Broncos. But, all right, guys, thumbs up, subscribe. I'll see you on the next stream. Appreciate you as always, and good game of your day. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. See ya.